What's happening, everyone? You just saw Rise of Skywalker, probably.
Hopefully.
Maybe you didn't.
Be weird to be watching this if you haven't.
Yeah.
People like that do exist, though, because people put
That's
disclaimers
true.
like "Don't listen to the spoiler thing," but people still do. So
If you're supporting us, even though you didn't see the movie, thanks, I guess.
yeah, exactly,
Thank you.
exactly. Fran, Robbie, KenJac, Jeff Lowe. We're here to talk Rise of Skywalker. We're just gonna go right through the movie.
Yeah.
And just talk
2 hours
about.
out, we just saw it.
We just saw it. This is released. I don't know when you're watching it, but this is released right when the movie drops for everyone. So we're gonna try to explain some things, or just talk about some maybe little Easter eggs we caught. Initial quick reaction though. What was your thoughts leaving it?
I didn't love it as much as I had hoped I would. It felt almost to me like the entire time I was watching, like this feels like fan fiction. It feels as if something I read on a forum, like something that was group thought by a bunch of people and put into a movie, which isn't necessarily a bad thing from an entertainment standpoint. That works totally fine. But I would have expected, or at least hoped for more risks. It feels like they kind of took the feedback from The Last Jedi and they're like, wow, the hogs really don't like when we try new things. We just got to feed them the slop that they're used to. And they went back to that formula. Again, nothing totally wrong with that from an entertainment standpoint, but just as a fan, I was hoping for more of a cohesive kind of a conclusion to this whole trilogy. But it's clear that wasn't really planned out from the start.
Yes, true. Fran?
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I had a great time. I think my initial thought was that it all moved a little too quick. Like it was just
That first act was...
yeah, like there's just a lot going on constantly. I kind of wish like maybe a couple things were just cut so there would have been a little bit more of like a sensitive, like a little bit.
Nothing humanized.
There's no like kind of very, and we'll get to it later when we really dive into it. But that was my first thought of just thinking back, like, whew, like that was a lot. Like a lot happened very quickly.
Well, that's in Robbie. Yours, when we left, I literally said, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I loved this movie. I don't think that's a massive shock to anybody out there. I loved The Force Awakens. I loved The Last Jedi. I love these characters. I love Rey, Finn, Poe. I think Kylo Ren is one of the best villains that Star Wars has ever had. I think Adam Driver is maybe the best actor that Star Wars has ever had.
Definitely not a stretch.
No.
No.
I mean, he's incredible. I thought he was incredible in this movie. I thought Daisy was incredible. I agree with you guys in that you said this movie moves. It was constant and constant and constant. And after The Last Jedi, where we focused on everyone individually and got to see like how they were feeling, how their character was evolving so much in that movie. And I know people crap on like the character arcs in that movie. I feel like they're all well done.
They just don't like what the arcs are.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
arcs.
It didn't
Fair.
feel as like character arcy and character driven. This was more adventure driven.
Totally.
And I liked seeing the group together. Seeing like Finn,
Yes.
Poe,
Yeah.
Rey, Chewbacca,
Actually,
C-3PO,
like, as a
everyone
unit,
together,
yeah.
it felt awesome. It felt like this is what we wanted to see. So I was very satisfied. I loved the ending. I loved the way they went, especially with Rey and Kylo Ren's characters, except for like this one moment that we'll talk about. But the actual ending to the Skywalker saga, to this trilogy, made me very happy. I'm very satisfied with The Rise of Skywalker.
No tear up moments for you?
So
I checked. I was looking. I was
weird.
looking over a few times.
I'm a known crier.
Yeah.
But I also didn't really cry the first time I saw The Last Jedi, and then the second time when I went on opening night, everything hit me like a ton of bricks, and I watched Luke watch the binary sunset one final time, and I was like, it's so beautiful. So I think on opening night, things might.
It's also
I'll just let it out.
It's also a crowd situation.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right, like
you were at a critic
we
screening.
saw this at a critic screening.
was being
You
judged
don't
already.
you
It
want to
was-
be like buttoned up. You don't want to show any emotion. So opening night, I feel like could be way more intense. Everything
And I'm
with
not
Carrie
afraid to let it
Fisher,
out.
like
not afraid
I
to
wasn't
let it
holding
out.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't
Yeah.
holding it.
You were
but-
woo girl in the
Yeah.
beginning, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Which is awesome.
You tried to start multiple cheers.
I mean, there was clapping. That wasn't
was
like you where you were
clapping,
the only
yeah.
one. There
Yeah.
was
I was
some
definitely the only one whooping it up in the
for
beginning.
sure. Yeah.
The press screenings are sometimes tough, and they're also tough on the other end of the spectrum too. You can also go to ones that are so rowdy that they're so like pro studio, where you feel like you like a movie more just because you
Right.
were whooping it up with the employees. I liked it as well. I definitely thought it was a little too much in spots. I kind of agree with like the entire sentiment that's being echoed. I like The Last Jedi. It has issues, but I like the fact they took the story in a different direction. This kind of went a little back to center. I mean, a lot back to center, brought back the Emperor.
For
right?
sure.
And it did tie things in. The Last Jedi, let's just be clear, is not wasted in this at all. They very much answer a lot of Last Jedi questions, and they address it well. It's not them basically retconning the Last Jedi.
I didn't get that feeling at all. That was
There's
like one of the only
that-
things I was really worried about was them going back on everything that happened in The Last Jedi because I love that movie, but I didn't get that
There's
vibe.
one part and one character that is pretty badly,
Snoke?
pretty badly retconned, but we'll talk about it when we get
Okay,
into it.
okay. So let's start it off then. Let's just get into parts of the movie.
Let's do it.
Movie starts off, the opening shot is Kylo. He's on some planet. He's killing a bunch of
Well, do you want to talk
Dathomir.
crawl first?
native... Oh, yeah.
Just a quick
I guess you got to talk the crawl.
Yeah. We have heard immediately. I think the first thing it says is like the dead people or
The dead have spoken.
The dead
Yeah.
speak spoken.
Exclamation point.
Yes, and it's like, whoa, we're starting this with a bang. And the Emperor has apparently sent out a call by the time this movie already starts.
Oh, yeah.
Sending out voice
So
signals.
it started hot, like just so
We hit the ground
like
running.
reading that. I really tried to like read it again as it was going because I was like, my God, lots going on right now.
They call him the Phantom Emperor in the crawl, which
Yep.
has to be a little, tie the full circle from the Phantom
Yeah,
Menace.
yeah.
Classic, what the fuck does the Phantom Menace even mean? Still don't know. Kylo killing a bunch of natives on some planet.
Looked like Dathomir, but I don't know if Dathomir natives
Sorta
don't look
did,
like
yeah.
that, but that same red atmosphere and everything.
It was a thing that... So a lot of the beginning of the movie we saw in trailers.
Yeah.
A lot
Yes.
of it.
Yeah.
Which I liked. Like,
Yes,
agreed.
when I saw that and was like, wow, okay, this is a lot of the stuff from the trailers and the teasers. I was like, great, there's a whole movie
out
to
of the
watch
way,
now.
yeah.
Like, I was glad that like what we saw in the teasers wasn't really, because you see all that and you're like, oh my God, did I just watch the whole movie?
Yeah.
So
Well,
that was good.
They definitely didn't
Yeah.
give too much. Everything like after Pisana in the movie
Yeah.
for the most part wasn't in
was
the
not
trailers.
really in it,
Quickest kill in Star Wars history, I think.
Who?
Kylo Ren. He kills the natives.
Oh, he kills all
He
of
just
them.
adds on to his
Quick.
already
Yeah.
unsurmountable body count that
Yeah.
he already has. Just the
Doesn't
biggest
care.
genocider there is in the
Him
Star
all-
Wars universe.
he was all dirty and gritty too.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
it was a cool scene.
Let's get back to the genocide part because is
He's
he
a big-time genocider.
Is he a redeemable person? Because
No.
let's get back
No.
to that. Robbie had
No.
thoughts on that, and there was a moment where I actually saw Robbie kind of give a little fist pump. We'll get to that part at the end of the review here because I think Robbie was very pleased with something. I thought it was a holocron. He finds this wayfinder.
yeah.
It's not like a Sith
Yeah.
holocron. It's a wayfinder device to go find Palpatine. That's who he immediately goes for. He flies through some red
Nebula thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
I
some
don't
weird
know
like
what that was. It's cool.
get a space
Right.
person. In
It looked
here.
like the thing
It
they
was-
fly through in Solo. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. He arrives at what looks like a science lab, basically. He arrives on this planet, which is
Kind of looked like the prison from Ultron, or was it not Ultron? Civil War.
where the
It did a little
clones
bit.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, or where the other Winter Soldiers are.
Yes.
Basically. Exegol is the name of the planet. You hear that name a lot.
Yeah.
I just did it. I did it right. That's one for one.
Yep.
It's Exogol. So it's a new planet. It's where the Sith have been for a while. This is where the
It's
Emperor
the
has
super
been.
dark planet you've seen in the
Secret planet.
trailers. Or I mean, if you've watched this,
Yeah,
we don't have
yeah,
to tell you
yeah.
that. You've seen the movie.
Big Last Jedi thing though. Snoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Answered
Emperor-
right away.
Right.
Emperor created Snoke, which we actually kind of got teased in a clip. But he's saying, "I've been every voice," and the Emperor is apparently a good impressionist. He does his Snoke
Andy
voice.
Serkis impression.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he
little
does
James Earl Jones impression.
He does Vader. He's an impressionist. So yeah, we see that Snoke really was a puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like there was like a couple of
There
them
was
in
there was
tanks.
a whole tank and there was multiple Snokes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
just like
Just-
Snoke bodies.
Yeah.
More clones.
How many Snokes has he employed over the years?
It's a good question, actually.
That's
I don't know.
only one has worked.
But the way they reveal it too in the movie, where Kylo's like, "I killed Snoke and I'll kill you," and he's just like, "Bro, I am Snoke.
Yep.
How
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
not get this by now?"
Yep.
And Kylo's going there. The crawl tells us basically to kill him.
Right.
Yeah.
He's threatened by him.
Yep.
Yeah, so he goes, finds the Emperor, meet face to face. The Emperor's decrepit. His fingers are all chewed up.
Fingers
Yeah,
were
yeah.
very
He's
disgusting.
missing
Yes.
tips of his fingers.
Gross.
Grossest Star Wars movie.
Did get thrown
He had,
into like a
bones
giant.
literally coming
This
out
is-
of his
yeah.
This is the
fingers.
grossest
Ugh.
Star Wars movie. There's some open wounds.
Yeah.
And it's not like alien guts. It's like real human wounds and gross
Well,
fingers.
Palpatine's just disgusting
Yeah,
all
he's
around.
a-
Like
he
he's
has to be
he's
the
just
fingernails.
always been pretty disgusting.
He's basically dead. Like he's
Yeah.
essentially
Oh,
dead.
he's
I mean, like
super dead. Like
spoilers for the movie, but I can't believe somebody fucked that guy.
oh
At what
time,
point
yeah.
did somebody fuck
yeah.
him?
Well, he could maybe use midichlorians.
Who
and
knows?
He
Palpatine
does.
the incel.
He does say something, which is a complete. We just did our Watchmen reviews, and Adrian Veidt in Watchmen likes to repeat things he said in the novel. The Emperor, exact line from Revenge of the Sith, he said to
Yeah.
Anakin, said, "The dark side is a pathway some consider to be unnatural." Little prequel nod. Have not gotten many of those prequel nods.
I wanted a prequel nod. I'm glad we got a couple.
Yeah. Then immediate cut. This goes to the thing of the movie moving fast because
Right.
that was what
maybe
minutes?
4 or 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe,
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Like,
Real
it was
quick. Very quick. On the Millennium Falcon, they're playing Holochess to Jarek, the game.
Right. Like, they put that in so that they didn't immediately cut to more action. Like, they needed, like, something. They were like, all right, let's put this, like,
Chess, yeah,
let's
they
put
love
this
chess.
30-second joke in.
That's like the last calm moment for a while in this
Yes.
movie, too.
Yeah.
Chewie's still cheating in the game.
There's a great moment too where it's Finn and Poe playing against Chewie together, and Chewie, I guess, just says like, "I'm better than you." He's like, "Of course you're better than us. You're 250 years old."
Yeah.
They tease a new character. They go to this planet, this like ice planet we've seen in trailers. This character Boolio. We'll get back to Boolio in a second.
Awesome
J.J.
name.
Abrams teased Boolio a while ago. I forgot about Boolio. Light speed skipping. We've never seen light speed skipping in live action, which looks a lot like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
It did.
Had a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. There's actually a couple Marvel vibes in this thing, but Poe is able to take the Falcon and light speed skip to the planet that the Resistance is on, which is where we see the next scene. Rey is training.
And he's gotten some stuff from Boolio. He's gotten
Yes, he got
a message
spy in
from the
First
spy.
Order.
Yep. So there's a spy in the First Order sending information to the Resistance. He gets his message from Boolio. Again, we do see later, kind of. Rey is training. They cut to another planet. So another cut. Asian Kloss is the name of the planet.
Okay.
That's, I believe, how you pronounce
Looks
it.
like Endor.
It does. Has
Yeah,
a
it
very,
does.
It's fake Endor.
It's fake Endor. It looks like
Still in a jungle.
it looks like a set, basically.
Yeah.
If you have,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
It looked like they filmed it on that the Resistance base is on like a back lot of a studio.
Right.
Maybe it is.
Jurassic Park kind of.
Yeah.
The first cut to Rey, by the way, is an incredible
Oh, it is.
shot.
Yes,
her
it is.
levitating with all the rocks
Yeah.
around
Rocks
her.
doing that pattern,
The way
that
she
Yep.
like
Xbox
gets
pattern,
down.
yeah.
There's a lot of wire work in this movie, especially in the lightsaber fights.
Yes.
This was like the movie of wire work, and I thought,
Yeah, it looked
Looked
really
very
good.
good.
Well, it was
Really
quite
pulled it
natural.
off.
Yeah.
Do you
Very
like the
natural
flipping
looking.
Yeah, if
from
you like
Phantom
flipping.
Menace?
I mean,
Yeah.
she's the queen of the backflips.
Loves flips.
Her like
Loved
did
his
that thing
backflips.
where he did like a backflip and
Yeah.
grabbed someone through him. Oh, it was some great stuff.
She accidentally hurts BB-8, drops a tree
Yeah.
on him. Poe and Finn and Chewbacca all arrive. Poe and Rey, I think some people tease they may have like a romantic relationship. They don't. They
Certainly
like
don't.
brother sister butt
Yeah.
heads.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't really like each other much.
What did she
But
say?
they don't.
She says like, you know what you are. You're difficult. You're a difficult man.
Yeah.
Something like that,
You're really
yeah.
a difficult
And,
man.
and that was, I think, my favorite.
Plus, he's
part
like,
of-
we could really use you out there.
Yeah.
Like,
He's like, you're our best fighter. Why are you
Yeah.
training here, like trying to be a
Yeah.
Jedi? I think maybe my favorite part of this entire movie was the interactions between all of these
yeah,
characters.
well, it's
Yeah,
nice
they
to have
were
them together. I
like
will say that.
it was so wholesome. The whole like every time one of them were talking to another, I was like, this is Star Wars. This is making
Well,
me
it
feel
really
warm
felt like
inside.
they're actually friends.
Yeah, and
Which
they
you
are.
kind of lost in like when they're all in different,
course.
Yeah.
like
Especially Finn and
doing
Poe.
their own thing,
Yeah,
So
the
having them all
bromance is
together,
real.
yeah, you actually really believed like that these guys are all
And
friends.
that's one of the things we kind of, at least personally, I wanted more throughout the entirety of this
Right,
trilogy
right.
because that's something you get a lot out of the original trilogy is
Yep.
like, they're together the entire time. And
Yep.
that bond between all three of them always is together, and it just doesn't really happen throughout this trilogy.
Yeah.
Which is like Empire.
fine,
Yeah, they're separated Empire. That's
Yeah.
fair. Okay, but
They were
in the
together
first
the
one-
entire first one, yeah.
And the
First one, yeah.
This one they're not because they all just kind of meet. Like you said, the bromance. Poe and Finn. We know they have a bromance. They've been together for what, like 20 minutes of these movies. So
Right.
it's nice to see them. And we've heard talk about spin-offs. I'd love to see a Poe and Finn buddy.
Yeah,
cop.
Falcon
Yeah.
Winter
I'm in
Soldier
for that,
type.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind that.
These characters are so great. Why would you not continue with them? Even if it's not the Skywalker saga, I'm cool with it ending here.
Yeah.
But continue.
First Order details revealed. They're going to be the Final Order. That's the information
name.
I got.
Cool name.
Great.
Yeah.
Palpatine, yeah, it makes sense. First Order, now he's got the Final Order. He's going to take everyone down. Luke was looking for that planet they learned, Exegol. He was looking for the Sith planet.
And we later find out with Lando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in for some kind. If you could give me a comic, a TV show,
book.
on Lando together, I'm in on that too.
They decide to stick together this time, and they're going to go to Basana, which is where they last saw Luke was looking for Exegol.
Yes.
So this is the desert planet, another desert planet. We have many desert planets in Star Wars.
JJ loves him.
He does. They're going
Big
to go.
fan.
He loves sand as
Yes.
opposed to Anakin.
They're going to look for the Wayfinder, and then we get a cut. Kylo announces there's a traitor in the First Order. Our guy Bulio's back. Dead.
Yeah, dead.
Decapitation.
It's-
Drop
yeah.
his
Drops the
head.
head on the
Yep.
table.
we didn't really get to see him for
Poor Bulio.
like a good
for a long
guy.
time.
The funny thing is with this trilogy, we've seen a lot of things. BB-90, the black
Yeah,
colored
yeah.
BB-8, the Porgs. We've heard a lot of these characters. People are like, oh, they're just for toys. Bulio, they just killed Bulio.
Yeah.
Right away.
Also-
R.I.P. to my dog Bulio.
Also, Cloud.
Cloud,
the big
He
slug.
was barely
Right.
in the movie.
Yeah, didn't do much.
Two bits. He got a nice hug at the end.
I'll say this.
Got a really
again,
nice
at the
hug.
same
He
time,
did, yeah.
Babu Frick made up for Cloud.
Babu
Oh,
Frick
we'll
is
get to
great.
Babu
Oh,
Frick.
we'll get to him.
Babu Frick. big time paid off.
I also like the little new droid.
Dio, yeah.
Dio was
yeah.
cute. And they also
English.
didn't reveal that. Yeah, he speaks English.
Yeah,
Loved
it. Was
it.
He was
Yeah,
like
he
just a
just-
human emoting thing.
Yep.
He's just like,
Yeah.
afraid.
Yep.
Happy.
So I want to note this. When they pointed out that there's a spy in the First Order, did you guys immediately think Hux? Because that was the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, this
I
guy's
thought-
getting abused throughout 2 movies.
Yeah.
It's got to be him.
I thought either Hux or Richard E. Grant,
Yeah.
the General Pride.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just 'cause
General
he was
Pride.
new. You knew
was
something
young.
was up with him. Yeah.
Which they introduced.
I
Richard
knew
E.
it was going to
Grant.
be one of the bigger players
don't
at
really
that
know
table,
many
but
people in the
yeah,
First Order.
yeah, exactly. It
he-
had to be somebody like that we would all be like,
Yeah.
like if
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
like, it's some random stormtrooper, we would have been
Still,
like,
the way they paid it off with Hux was
Yes.
very
Yeah, it
well
was good.
done.
Yes.
Which even if it was General Pride, Richard E. Grant, I don't know if we would have been that shocked because
Be like, oh, whatever.
it's like
Yeah.
He looks like an evil
Yeah,
I
dude.
always
yeah.
reference this whenever movies introduce new characters that no one cares about and there's a twist. Role models. When that nerdy guy's telling a story on the campfire, he's like, and it was the pizza delivery boy. And people were like, what?
Yeah.
That remembers your story.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they picked Hux. Richard E. Grant, his character General Pride had worked with the Emperor
Yeah, with the Empire.
years ago.
Yeah.
I kind of wish there was a little more on that, but that's
I think we might get
I thought
that
it was an
eventually.
interesting
yeah.
fold.
we might. There is a theme. There's a lot of little things. So even they rush into the Palpatine story, where I wish we could have had more. But that's part of the problem is they just crammed a lot into one movie, and
Yeah.
that is, I think, one
Yeah.
big downside of it.
And it's not that, like, it didn't feel long to me.
No.
It's-
because it was moving very fast.
So, like,
Yes.
when you have that, I wish they would have just made it a longer movie. You could have made this 3 hours. Like, Endgame, they were like, listen,
Nobody
we
would have
got a ton
complained.
of shit to cram
Yeah,
in here.
yeah.
We're going to make it 3 hours. They could have done a 3-hour conclusion.
So like when I asked you guys, I was like, "What's the running time?" If you had told me like 2 hours and 50 minutes, I've been like, "Okay."
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like
Exactly.
I would have expected it.
Definitely would have been...
Could have easily
it would have
done
given
maybe
things
another
more
half
time to
hour.
breathe.
Yep. They're on Pasana. There's a celebration. A lot of times when there's Star Wars and dancing in celebrations, it's not a great thing.
Yes.
Usually
Yeah.
it gets panned. I thought this worked fine.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
like a
cool.
Burning Man
Doing a
festival.
little
Right.
little
Totally.
jig. Yeah, I got
Right.
it.
We've seen that
Every
character
42
before.
years. I mean, it's just like
What are the chances?
Which
yeah. What are the odds?
added up.
Yep.
Yeah,
42
for the
years,
original trilogy.
1977.
Yep.
You know, that was a fun little. I'm glad you brought that up. That
It was nice.
That was a 3PO line. 3PO, maybe his best movie yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
by far.
That's my favorite
3PO's best
3PO, I
movie.
think, ever.
I thought The Force Awakens was Chewie's best movie in the same way that this was 3PO's
Yeah.
best movie. Like, they really let him shine.
You know, if you're talking about Star Wars, I've wanted 3PO to fucking kick rocks for a while now.
Yeah.
3PO had a really good movie.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I will admit.
Also, we got to see some cute-ass alien babies
Yeah.
in this festival.
Practical effect babies, which
Yes.
JJ loves, which I love that he
Which,
respects
like,
that.
people love Baby Yoda. Why?
Yes.
Because he's like a real thing. He looks
Practical
real.
effect.
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
mind that like the mouth doesn't match up with like the actual dialogue. That to us is
fine.
cool because
Right.
that
Yeah.
reminds us of the original trilogy and
Yes.
like what we're used to with Star Wars. That's
Yeah.
what we like.
So there's this like it looks like a Life Day celebration. It's not a life.
Close.
It's not a Star Wars holiday
Don't say
special
that.
reference. But they're on this like again. It looks like a Burning Man like basically this planet's version of.
Yeah, they're throwing powder everywhere.
It's just a music
it's
festival.
a giant.
It's like
thing.
was it Diwali? The
Yeah,
thing they throw the
yeah.
pow-
Yeah. The First Order is going to go after Rey and the gang because they know they're there, but Lando saves them. They arrive, and this guy in a mask saves them. And I actually thought they were going to bring him to Lando, and he goes in a ship. He talks to a driver of this ship, which is a Muppet, I think. It's just like a
It is.
Muppet.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
you gotta go. He's like, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I want that character to have a name.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he does, and a full backstory. It's
Yeah.
Star Wars.
It's
Yeah.
revealed to be Lando. Lando saves them, said Leia sent me a message. I've known about this, blah, blah,
Great
blah.
moment, simple but well
Yeah.
done. I really didn't think it would be Lando. Like when he took the helmet off, it
Yeah.
was a genuine surprise, and I knew he would be in the movie. But
Right.
Send Leia my love. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And they say, you do it
Okay.
yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go say hi to her.
And this is where we also get the first tease of like, oh, we're gonna learn a lot more about
Yeah.
Rey's lineage because we have an alien be like, what's your family name? Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
big time.
There was a lot of hints the whole time.
There's a character who crashed a ship there called named Ochi. They don't know much about it. But when they see the ship, Rey says something, and if you remember The Force Awakens well enough, the light bulb goes off in your head. She goes, I recognize that ship.
And
Yeah.
like the vision. Yep.
It's the ship that she's been envisioning since the first movie that when, what's his, Unkar Plutt?
Yes.
The
Yes.
guy who sells shit.
Get back here, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Or
Simon
buys
Pegg.
and sells. Yeah, he's holding her arm, and they see the ship. If you're watching the video version, if you'll see the ship, you don't remember it. So that's what her parents flew off in. So immediate. If you didn't get it from asking her last name, you got it there. You're like,
Yeah.
all right, we're gonna get the
You
answer.
definitely got it here. And is this where she has her like she actually has that flash where she sees everything? Does that happen in that same moment?
I forget the exact moment.
But I think it's close to this moment at least.
Probably around there.
Because she has that flash before she gets into the tug of war with Kylo.
Yes.
So
She
I think
does.
it basically does happen around here, and we see flashing to that. We see a flash of
Yeah,
the
because she
throne,
says we can't stay here. We got to go. Kylo's
Yeah.
coming.
They're current.
That's where he grabs the fucking necklace through the Force.
Oh,
which
right.
is
Yes,
something
yes,
that now
right,
becomes
right,
a
right,
thing.
right.
Yeah.
That's
that was
right.
huge. Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought that. That's how he knows they're there. they have that force bond, right? You said the flashback, and
Yeah,
he
pulls
grabs
the necklace off,
pulls the necklace.
and then they know
Keep
exactly
Talib style. It's pretty awesome.
It's very cool how the force bond has gotten like stronger and stronger. In The Last Jedi,
Yes.
we saw he felt like the raindrops from Octo.
Yep.
And he looked at his hand and was like confused
Wet,
by
right,
it.
right.
And now we're to the point where like they're grabbing things. I mean, they had a
Teleporting
lightsaber
shit,
fight
yeah.
I like
through
it.
the force. That was dope.
I
was
like
really
the
cool.
power. I know some people say like it. So this is there's two camps of where I don't like Last Jedi. Some of the hate. One of them is you just don't like the story. Some of the story structure in Last Jedi I get not loving. Some of the humor it's fine, but like the plot hole stuff, just because it's a new thing they've introduced, doesn't make it a plot hole.
They
It's like,
introduce new
why-
shit with the Force all
Yeah, yeah.
the time.
Why
It's
have they
fucking
never-
magic, man. Like,
Why have they never used that before? Because they just haven't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, in Empire Strikes Back, when Luke reaches and
Yeah.
gets his saber
Yeah.
out of the snow, that's the first time anyone's ever moved anything with the force.
You know,
Right,
Obi-Wan
right.
couldn't have done that in the Death Star. It's like
Exactly.
You just have
Yeah.
to expect that it's just gonna grow.
And
Like
every
it's just
Star
gonna
Wars
get
movie,
stronger.
Yeah, there's
like
new force powers. There's
Yeah.
new this. There's new that. Like it's gotta grow.
And if you're a Star Wars fan, you want this, right? You want
Yeah.
expanding lore. You want new horizons.
Yes.
That's the whole point.
If you watch the NBA today and you watch the NBA from the 70s, you're like,
oh, I
why
know
are the players
layups are
so
the-
much better all of a sudden?
Fuck
Right.
three-pointers. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
Things have
yeah.
evolved.
dunking.
Yeah.
That's a plot hole.
Yeah.
So they drop down through this like quicksand,
Yeah.
yeah.
which I braced for an explosion sound. We didn't. Get
I thought
that.
you
They-
used the Force to move it or something. Yeah.
By the way, I said it took from Marvel a little bit. This was like the most Harry Potter feeling scene. That
Oh,
was
I thought
literally-
the same
What's
thing.
the name of the thing they fall through in Harry Potter? In
The
the first
tree
one?
thing that they have to use the light to get through in the first one.
It's the
Robbie doesn't know Harry
I
Potter.
don't know what you're referencing.
Remember if they don't.
And
if they-
it's the
It's the alive
it's the
plant.
green, it's the plant, and they have to. It's afraid of sunlight. It's
And you
the
can't struggle. If you struggle,
Yeah,
it kills
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Don't struggle, it
Yep.
just drops you down to
well,
the bottom.
to double up
In
on the Harry
Sorcerer's
Potter,
Stone.
they fall through down the
Yep.
bottom there, and there's a big snake.
Oh yeah, Chamber
Big
of
ass
Secrets.
snake.
Yep.
Big-
What about
basically,
that?
looks
That's that
exactly
one. Yeah.
looks exactly like the basilisk.
It
Very
just
very
looks-
similar.
I wanted to say out loud, Harry Potter.
Yep.
That's exactly what it looked like. The snake is injured.
I would have loved if you said that out loud in our quiet screen. If you just went Harry Potter.
I did. That's one of my favorite movie stories. I told on Lights Camera Barstool before. We saw the second Transformers movie.
Devil's Snare.
There you
Devil
go.
Snare. Yep.
Had to do a quick.
That's
Google,
exactly what it
but
reminded me
Devil's
of.
Snare.
There's like a plot
A little
twist.
more on the
Actually,
light
watch
and the
the Harry
Devil's
Potter
Snare.
movies. They
Yeah.
sound
We
interesting.
should. Yeah.
They're good.
There's a plot twist in Transformers. My friend in the quiet theater went, plot twist.
Yeah.
And everyone just yelled at us. Or like, ooh, what a twist. So, confronted by the snake, also 3PO at one point falls down and Poe calls for everyone out. He's like, are you okay? And he goes, you didn't call for my
Yeah,
name,
yeah.
but I'm okay.
Yeah, he had so many of those lines.
great
that
lines.
reminded
Good.
me of-
He had some good one-liners.
Very
He
funny.
did.
He did. Anthony Daniels annoys me, but
Yeah, he's a bit much.
it's true. So Rey sees, this is another huge force power thing. Rey sees the snake is injured, and she uses the force to heal the snake.
Did we get a tease of this in The Mandalorian with Baby Yoda trying to heal the Mandalorian?
He did.
with the Force.
Oh my God, you're
Yeah.
right.
Is that? Do you think like that was specifically tied in because of this?
I don't know if it was, but I would guarantee you the way the story group works.
Yeah.
They were talking about things and they said, well, or Mandalorian said, do you think we can
Yeah.
do this? I'm like, yeah, because I bet they did already. Like, we wrote this in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Because as soon as she did that, I was like, oh, Baby Yoda tried to do that. That was the first thing I thought of.
A lot of that stuff kind of ties into even with like Rebels, the whole having an officer on the inside, like that's a huge plot line in Rebels, and like having
Yeah.
spies
Yeah,
and all
right.
that shit. Was it the Fulcrum or something in Rebels?
Yeah.
I like
Basically
how
him.
Star Wars uses its themes and,
Yeah.
and repeats them. It's like poetry.
Pulled a
rhymes.
lot. Pulled a lot from Rebels, especially the last couple movies, and Rogue One. I wish it was a crate dragon, not a snake. That's a Star Wars. That's me being a fanboy. There's one moment though, and this
I
goes
thought
back.
it was a worm, by the way. You guys are calling it a snake. I thought
It was
Too scaly to be a worm, right?
It was a little wormy SpongeBob. It was a little like
The
that
Alaskan
worm.
bullworm.
Bullworm. It was
SpongeBob
like an
worm.
Alaskan bullworm. It was kind
no.
of. It was like an Alaskan bullworm snake combo situation. That's
Now I'm gonna laugh
with the
when I see the movie again.
Well, with the tunnels, that's like the tunnels have
Yeah,
like
it's
the
literally-
ridges. Like
yeah,
that's
yep.
what it looked like.
Yep.
Yep.
Don't like bones.
Yeah.
One moment I'll a little complain about, which I feel like they didn't pay it off again, was weird. Was that when they were dropping through the sand, Finn was like, "Rey, I need to tell you something."
Yep.
And then
was-
they drop
yeah.
through. Poe confronts him about it, and they don't really bring it up again.
No, but
They
they,
do
No,
say it
I've
more
even
times.
brought
bring
it up
one
multiple
more time.
times.
They do say it
Again.
more
Like
times,
they
yeah.
just don't address it.
On Endor, or so they bring it up, but they
No,
never.
because then
where did they
Poe
bring it
asked
up?
again.
he's
Like
like, "You're
towards
still
the
on
end, he was
about
like,
this?"
he's like, you're still. He was like, so what were you gonna tell Rey? Like he
Yeah.
says it again.
That's
Like
when it
yeah.
happens. Okay,
And
I
he
was
just
late on
doesn't
this.
tell him, and
Yeah.
I
I was
assume
early
to
on my
believe-
reference. That happened at that moment.
Yes, I think we're to believe that he's has feelings,
Feelings
for
for
her,
her, yeah.
which we got a sense of in the Force Awakens, maybe.
I
But
think he likes a lot.
Grabbing her
of
hand and
people,
all that.
Finn.
He does.
Yeah, I don't
He gets
really.
around.
It didn't seem like he liked Rose.
I'm not quite sure what the intention of that was, or maybe he's like. I also thought maybe he was just harboring some feelings about the Force, like
That's
he
what I was
feels
gonna
like
say,
he feels
Something about him
like
being
something
Force
has
aware.
been happening to
That's
him,
what
or
it
he
was.
has felt like he has felt the Force, and it brings him like towards
like
Rey.
that.
So I
think you're
could
right.
see him like being like, what do I
I'm
do
an
with
idiot 'cause I
this?
didn't consider
Force
that.
sensitive
Yeah,
because
I
we
think
know
you're
that
right.
later
Yeah,
in the movie.
yeah.
It reminded me just of my favorite thing that goes unmentioned, the Jurassic World
Yeah.
movie when the kids talk about their parents' divorce and never talk about
Never talk about it again.
Yeah.
no relevance to the movie at all. Chewie's captured, and by
Oh,
captured
but we
I
should
mean,
mention the knife or the dagger.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
right.
He gets
The Sith dagger.
So what they find underneath or around Ochi's ship, they don't get the Wayfinder. They find a Sith dagger.
Yeah,
Yes.
on his bones.
Yeah. Again, very gruesome movie.
Bones, yeah.
They find the Sith dagger. 3PO can't read it.
He's not allowed to read it.
Yeah.
Well, he
Not
can,
his
but he can't-
programming.
He can't like
Yeah.
say it out loud.
And
Yeah.
notice when he gets cut off because the snake appears, or the Alaskan bullworm, he
Yeah.
says the Senate outlawed it or something. He gets
Yep.
cut off.
He does
Oh,
mention that,
really?
yeah.
Little-
I didn't recognize.
He said it was
that.
outlawed by the Senate, and then the snake shows up
Yeah.
and cuts
Like,
him
who's
off.
the
Okay, so they have that's key.
yeah,
Okay,
the Senate.
glad you brought that up. It's hard to recap a movie that and there's no
Just
plot
saw,
on
yeah.
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
It's very. I actually went on Wikipedia like, I wonder if somebody uploaded the plot. They didn't.
And then they have like it written in Sith where the location
Yeah.
of the
Yes.
Wayfinder
Yes.
is.
They got to figure out how to do that. And they're leaving. Chewie gets captured, but because he wanders
Yeah.
away in the Knights
Wander
of
off to
Ren.
find
He was
Rey.
looking
Right.
for- He's looking for Rey.
Yeah.
Like they could have the struggle to find the knife to then find the Wayfinder. Like I feel like could have been squished
Yes.
into maybe like
Compressed a little
one.
bit,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think you're right.
only just because it was like there was so much going on that it was moving so fast that it was like, all right, we found this, now we gotta find this, now we gotta find like if it was
Yeah.
maybe just. We gotta find one thing and make it like really hard.
Find a guy to bring us to the guy to bring us to
Exactly.
the
Yeah,
guy.
You're finding
yeah.
a thing to find a thing.
Yeah. It's like
a
To
bunch of
find
side
a
quests.
thing.
Yeah.
Couple MacGuffins.
Yeah, exactly. There's three things, and I think you're right because you can
Yeah.
have 3PO just maybe try to read the Wayfinder,
Right.
Right? It
Yeah.
doesn't have to
Exactly.
be.
It could have
Yeah.
been that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely got a little
So-
complicated.
Right.
So I think we say convoluted. I think the things are the.
But then the knife was important because the knife went back to Rey's family,
Yeah.
so it's like yeah,
It wasn't.
Yeah. Everything made
it's not-
sense
it's
and
not a deal
connected, but-
breaker,
yeah.
but it's definitely.
Yeah.
They could have cleaned things up.
I think they
Right.
wanted to do that stuff with the dagger because they do a little bit of this in Fallen Order. I think you played a little bit.
played a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so like the main guy in that has a power. I think it's called like psychokinesis or something, where like with the Force you can touch an object and feel everything it's been through. And obviously Rey does when she feels it, she gets
Yeah.
memories
Right,
of
right.
everything.
She had the
that happened with
lightsaber in the
family.
Force Awakens. Same
Yeah,
kind of deal.
same thing. Yep.
Yeah, but I agree. I think it's a little too many things.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Too many things. So again, Chewie, who has the dagger,
Yes.
he gets captured by the First Order, the Knights of Ren. He goes up in this transport. They do a little fake out on screen.
Little Texas switch.
Because all
Yeah.
of a sudden, Rey's in the middle of the desert, and we see the scene from the first trailer
Right.
where Kylo's tie is going at her. I thought that was going to be a vision. That actually happens.
Oh,
Yeah, it
Fran
was
turned
so
to me and
sick.
she was like,
I was like, here it comes.
Here it comes. The flip comes.
I was like,
And
she's
we were
gonna do
looking
the
at each
flip.
other like, oh my god, here it comes. And the way she, like the actual full version of the flip, how
Oh.
she cuts the wing off the TIE
Yeah.
fighter.
Yeah.
So sick.
Oh, amazing.
He
The build up
crashes-
was great too.
Yeah.
Like, just they
It was
really
so
played the whole
that was,
thing of
like
him
one of the most
flying
intense
towards him.
moments of the movie.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, to go backwards, to go forwards, the chase scene before that, where the two guys in the ATVs were chasing them
Yeah.
while they were on the thing, I actually like that quite a bit.
That was great.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit
The-
of pod racing or something.
the speeder chase.
Yeah.
with the jetpack guys and
Yes.
shit. Like I love that. I'm
Peter
sorry.
Chase was on BB-8.
Don't apologize for
does,
that.
Does like the Diwali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shows the canister
Yeah.
at them,
Yeah.
and hit
Yeah.
and blow
Never
up.
doubt a droid. Or
Nothing
whatever.
makes me
Never. What do you say? Never
Never
underestimate
underestimate a
a
droid.
droid.
Nothing makes me happier than seeing like a stormtrooper and a vehicle blow up. It's just like
Yeah, yeah.
You know what?
always
I'll
makes
one-up
you right.
you. I'll one up you. A
They make that
stormtrooper
shrieking
with
sound
with
too,
a
you know?
jetpack.
Right.
When they get shot
Yes,
and they go
yes.
like a balloon or something.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just
I
awesome.
love that.
Yep. So Rey cuts the wing off the tie. The tie kind of flips, a la like the ties did in Force Awakens when they had the Millennium Falcon fight
Yeah.
on Jakku. Also kind of reminded me of Sebulba pod racing and Phantom Menace. And then they have a showdown, and Rey, badass moment, force pulls the fucking ship, the
Yeah.
transport with Chewie on it, and it's coming down towards Earth, and then Kylo comes out and he's trying to like push it away,
Yeah.
and there's a struggle, and I kind of knew it was gonna blow up. I thought it was gonna crash.
Yeah,
Me too.
I thought it was just gonna split in half or something,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the lightsaber did from the Last Jedi when they were each doing the tug
I
of
was
war
thinking
with that.
split in half.
And like he stops,
But-
like, she stops him
then
from falling or something.
But she
yeah.
shoots out fucking Force light.
She shoots at
which
Force
was
light.
sick.
Right,
Which is
yeah.
sick as hell.
Did you know at that point she was a Palpatine?
No, but I felt like that's where it was leading.
Yeah.
There was some because I was like I
immediately.
wasn't really sure what exactly the relation was going to be. Like because you do have, all of a sudden there's like
The
how
age
many
thing is also weird,
how many
right?
Palpatine children were running around? Like who is it? You know, it's still like the mystery of Rey's parents, like kind of being nobodies essentially. That is like
Scrappers, whatever.
which is bizarre. Like I'm like how does Palpatine have a son that like just doesn't have any role in
just
anything?
Doesn't give a
like
shit about
just
being-
maybe just
But
like hates him so bad that he
I
leaves.
did like the explanation they gave for that.
Yeah.
Of like them trying to hide Rey from him, so they
Yeah.
got away and
They're
shows the life
heroes,
of
yeah,
nobodies, and that they sold her to save her and all
Right.
of that. I like the way they explained that. As soon as she shot the lightning, I knew, and I was like, I was rattled.
See, I didn't think it necessarily only because we've seen other non-Palpatines do lightning before, like Count Dooku. I mean, we've seen do lightning
Yeah.
all over the
Yes.
place.
That, but I just knew, like, given the 2
What we
seconds
know.
before, what's your
right,
last name?
and all
what's
the
your family
questions
name?
about
What if she was a Dooku? That'd be so underwhelming.
Oh, that would
Rest in peace to Christopher Lee.
Countess Dooku. We never knew.
That would be
Yeah.
such a bummer.
What's your name at the end?
but this-
Ray Dooku.
This is like one of the few things that like I always wanted to see in like these Star Wars movies is this the Force being used on this grand scale, like pulling down
Right,
a ship.
right.
Yeah,
like
that was-
in what was the game, Force Unleashed or whatever, where he brings down a
Yes.
fucking Star Destroyer.
Yes.
Like seeing the Force used on that scale to me is so much cooler than any of the small scale
Agreed.
stuff.
It was
Cool,
jaw dropping when
just
she
using
grabbed it
lightsabers.
and it
Oh,
stopped.
yeah.
When she put her hand out and it stopped, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
this is gonna be cool.
So it blows up. Everyone screams, Chewie's dead, which, I don't know.
There,
Like,
there was
I thought-
definitely part of me that I would say 70% of me was like Chewie's dead, but 30% of me was like,
No way he'd be unceremoniously
yeah,
killed.
Like,
Yeah.
Right,
like,
right.
no way would they do it like that.
too big of it. Like, if that had been.
Although Nien Nub, rest in peace, did get unceremoniously killed.
Really?
It did seem as though Nien
He
Nub
is
got
big
killed.
dead.
We'll get to the space battle because I don't
I didn't
know.
realize
It was
that.
Big Dead.
This is
Nien
Nien
Nub?
Nub.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Wait,
not
he
the
was
Ewok.
in-
Nien Nub, the fucking I don't know, fishman. Or I don't know what
Yeah, he
fish
flies to Lando.
Yeah,
the
there's thing-
ships were kind of
dies?
tumbling. We'll get
We'll
talk
get
that
there,
one
yeah.
out.
All right, all right.
It
talk
looked,
that one
it
out.
looked like it, but
get to it.
maybe
There were a lot
not.
of deaths in this movie.
Yeah.
People died in this movie. So I don't know. I just figured as well. Maybe if it was like Dio was dying, I probably would have believed it.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
Dio. But nah, whatever. It's they say Chewie's dead, so we'll believe it for now. They lose a Sith dagger, but 3PO has it memorized. They now need to go
Yes. Program
basically
him,
reprogram
basically,
3PO.
yeah.
Go to a droid smith.
They gotta go look for Zuri Bliss, but mostly Babu Frick.
Babu Frick.
Yeah.
They say his name so many times.
Kimiji?
I love it.
Is that the planet? Kimiji?
Kimji?
Kimji?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Something.
It's
like
around
that.
there.
It's
There's
hard.
K's, A's, and
Something.
the letter
Kajimi.
J.
Kajimi. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So they go to Kajimi. It's like a snowy planet. It's very overrun by the first.
Yeah, they're getting absolutely blown apart.
pillaging,
Some
murdering.
cool walkers, some cool like
Yeah,
walkers we
first
haven't
order
seen
ones,
before.
yeah.
They kind of reminded me of like the separatist style spider walkers.
And
They're
there's,
cool.
there's a moment while they're going there too where Rey says like I've had this vision of me on the Sith throne. Like this is what I'm so afraid of and why I've been training so hard. Like I want to make sure that I
Yeah.
can't fall subject to the dark side.
She opens up a little more to Finn, and
Yeah.
she has that line where she says that she feels like nobody understands her,
Yeah.
and I feel like that also pushes. Every time she says that, it pushes Reylo for me because I'm like, well, Kylo does understand
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
pretty much
They got
throughout the
that
movie,
bond.
throughout
Yeah,
the
yeah.
trilogy. So
So Babu Frick, he's kind of French. He has definitely has
it's
a
like
French,
but also a
Yeah.
little Spanish.
Yeah, I don't really know how to describe it.
he can speak English.
His voice is laugh out loud funny.
Oh, it is
amazing.
very,
Pretty
it's
much
great.
anything he said, I
Yeah.
was laughing.
Yeah.
And he says his name Babu Frick like a Pokemon does. It's
Yeah, yeah.
amazing.
And a practical effect thing again. It was like
Right.
he's doing this little
Shirtless, too.
tiny.
And right, like because he is so small, it makes him much cuter.
Yes,
like you're
10
like
times
he
cuter.
is so small
He's
and
wearing
he
some goggles.
yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
awesome.
Zori Bliss and Poe have a history. Poe very horny for Zori Bliss. Asked for a
Yes.
kiss multiple times. Once directly, another time
Yeah.
trying to give
I
her
think
a
it was
look.
The
asking
other
for more
time,
than a kiss in
the
that
other
point.
the other time did make me laugh.
That wasn't a kiss.
That was not a kiss, a nod. That was a something else nod.
Carrie Russell
Yes.
plays.
Fantastic.
We only see her eyes at one point.
Yeah.
They
Watch
kinda
The
have a
Americans.
heart
Good
to heart.
though. She was cool.
The heart to heart comes after 3PO gets his memory wiped, though.
Yeah.
And he gets his memory wiped.
Pretty emotional moment for real.
It is, yeah. And
Oh, and that's when he also hit us with just taking one more look at my
My
friends.
friends.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
weds,
yeah.
yeah.
notes that, though, they didn't, like, doesn't R2 back
Back
you
up your
up?
memory.
And I was like, all right, it definitely
Yeah,
back you up.
yeah.
He's like, R2's got a shit memory. He can never do that.
Yeah.
It's like, damn. He's like,
At
his
least
database
the red
stinks.
eyes weren't Sith C-3PO, which we were like, oh shit.
Oh,
this
and
is
his,
weird.
Right,
voice,
right,
his
right.
voice changed too.
Yeah, yeah.
To read the Sith dagger. He's
Yeah.
like, a human cyborg relations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Babu Frick is his oldest friend, he says at one point. 'cause
Right.
he doesn't
First
know.
person he's met.
Introduce
Yes.
himself. Yeah.
Yeah. They depart because they're going to go up to Kylo's ship. which is just above Kemiji now. Zori gives them a First Order medallion. I think cool little part that
Captain's
explained
medallion.
That was
Whatever,
cool
yeah.
to
Yeah.
get into the hangar. Yeah.
It's basically like, like some people get those cards and their friends were cops. So you can
Yeah,
get
yeah.
pulled over.
PDA card.
Yeah, right?
See, like and then this is what I said to you guys when we walked out. Like this was kind of an area where I would have liked a little bit more of a character development plot, backstory on Poe and Zuri, just because I liked their relationship and it seemed like they had a lot of history, and I was like, if we could I just wanted them to touch on it like a little bit more, just a little bit more.
It's one of the things where you add a character in a pivotal moment, a
Yeah.
pivotal moment of the movie where you're like,
that clearly has a lot of history, and they're like, oh yeah, he's a spy, leaves
You're
whatever
requiring
it
the
was.
audience.
blow your brains
Yeah,
out
we're like,
right
what?
now.
Yeah.
So you require your
Yeah.
audience to make that leap. Like, pretty fucking big. It's a
Yeah.
pretty big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
They hate each other.
They obviously add like legacy characters back into this movie, like Lando Calrissian, like Nien Nunb, and like those
Yeah.
guys, they don't need characterization. They don't because
no.
we know them already.
Yeah.
But when you add a
Exactly.
Zuri Bliss, or you
we're like,
add,
who the heck is this chick?
they've added like what 2 or 3 characters into this, and they
Yeah.
don't give them really enough characterization. Where I'm like,
Yeah.
I want a little bit more, and
Yeah.
they do a little. They try to do more characterization with Poe, like you're saying,
Yeah.
like where like now instead of just being like this cool hotshot pilot, now he has this
Right,
smuggler
he has a
past.
little bit exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you're like, I want more.
More ties to the Han Solo type
Yes.
personality. I dug the past with Fran. I would have liked more of that.
Yeah, that was almost a
But,
very big.
again, I feel like if the biggest fault for me is like I wanted more of it.
Right, then
not bad.
yeah.
That was a Han Solo moment too. Him saying like, "I don't want to go back to Kajimi. I left there in a bad place." Like him
Yeah.
when he went back
Yeah.
to Lando and
Yep.
Empire Strikes Back. When he went to what do you
Yeah.
call it? And they just even
You're
in
right.
Force Awakens when he went
There
to
were a lot,
Yeah.
a
cantina
lot
or
of
whatever.
parallels.
What's-
and also,
what's
we
the
got
Lando
our,
system?
we got our classic
Yeah.
scene where everyone from Star Wars has to wear a
Yes.
jacket.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
always a thing in Star
That's
Wars.
true.
It's like,
They
put on
do.
some jackets. I don't
By the
know.
way,
do.
that was a cool long take they did on Kajimi where they had him like walking in between all the streets. That was like a 1.5 2 minute take. That looks
Yeah.
sick.
It's cool.
Don't usually get that in Star Wars.
So they depart. Rey also senses Chewie, by the way. That's partly
Yes.
why they go up
Yes.
there. So they kind of split up when they get up to the ship.
And they also have the Falcon.
Yes,
They do. They do have the Falcon. So the First Order
First
has
Order
the Falcon.
does,
Yeah.
yeah.
They kind of towed it basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they
The
capture
first time we
Chewie.
ever saw that Star
Yeah,
Wars
yeah.
towing.
Yeah, they capture the Falcon. So they go in there. They split up. Rey is now going to go after something. We don't know what at that moment, but then Foe and Pin.
Foe.
Pin and Foe. I knew I was going to do it.
Take a little food here. Yeah,
They break Chewbacca out.
Yeah.
And then Rey.
Cool escape scene, but Chewbacca, they took away his bandolier.
Yeah.
He looked naked.
He
It
did.
was so
He
weird.
looked like a dog.
It
without a
really
collar.
did. He really did. Yeah.
So I'll stay on their path. I'll go to Rey in a second. They break Chewbacca out. They get captured. Hux takes over the capturing and then shoots the stormtroopers. And it turns out Hux has been the spy the whole time.
Yeah.
Maybe the biggest laugh of the whole movie was when he's like, "I'm the traitor. I'm the
Yeah,
spy."
yeah, yeah.
Whatever he
Yeah.
was like. Yeah.
Domino
Yeah.
Gleeson's the best.
He's so great. Speaking of
He's
Harry
like
Potter.
so
Harry Potter.
perfectly nerdy.
Harry
Yeah.
Potter guy.
Is he in
Yeah.
Harry Potter?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, big
He's a
time.
Weasley.
He's the
Duh,
Oh,
red
that
hair.
makes
Bill.
sense.
Yeah.
Look at this. Robbie
Makes
learning
sense.
things every
Yeah.
new things.
I'll check them out for you, Dom Hall.
Funny moment though because he's still Hux and he's like, "Shoot me in the arm." They got to know that. I got to.
Oh, yeah.
And Finn's just like, "Fuck you." He shoots him in the leg. He's like, I don't like it
But
that
he
much.
He does have a good line where he's like, "Why are you helping us?" He said, "I don't care about you guys winning. I just want Kylo Ren to lose." He's
Yeah.
so petty.
He is, which that's a good payoff because I felt like that was something that we may not see or care about
Yeah.
because he got the shit beat out of him basically in Last Jedi.
Non-stop.
Right, and I liked that was where his story ended because I feel like that like the pettiness that he had in the other movies for him to just like hate Kylo Ren so much to help the resistance was
Yeah.
like, okay, this
Especially,
this
like,
is the
Poe, who
perfect
he
like
hated, Finn, who
yeah,
he
yeah
hated.
I was like, this is the perfect way for him to go down because he clearly like was such a selfish person in the first place that if he like really cared about the final order like
Yeah.
that much, like I would have been like, I don't know if I really believe this.
Cut off his nose to spite his face. Or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
phrase
yeah.
is.
Totally. Yeah.
So they break him out. Rey has found her thing she's looking for. She goes to Kylo's like office.
Cool room.
Cool. Very cool
His
office.
office,
His study was cool as
his
shit.
white office,
study.
yeah.
And in there he's got the Sith
It's
dagger.
just like his trophy room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he has the
sort of
Wayfinder,
is.
he has
Vader's
the
mask.
Yep.
Vader mask, which I should mention that I kind of whiffed on this one when they were on the planet. Oh no, now they do.
No, they
Okay,
do
so
it here.
now.
So while
Yeah.
Rey's there, she gets the bandolier, she gets Chewie's bowcaster, all that stuff.
Kylo Ren's still on Kajimi.
Yeah, still down on
He's
Kijimi.
looking for them.
And
Yeah.
the Force FaceTime, they force bond
Force
again,
time.
and they fight via the Force bond.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. It's so cool.
Very
really,
cool. scene.
really cool. He gets the sense the Vader helmet drops and he knows where
Right.
she is. And
He like sees it smash and he's like, I know where she is.
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of almost thought for a second because we'd seen them grab the necklace, obviously, but we're like, I don't know if that's a weird fluke or whatever. But
Right.
then like he cuts the thing, like the berry pouch, whatever.
Yeah,
and the berries
and that
fall out
goes flying into
office,
the
and
yep,
like,
yep.
okay, now this is like a new force power
Yeah.
being
bringing
introduced
those
to.
elements into that just made it cooler, just
Yes.
made it
Wait,
better.
yeah,
I was a
totally.
big fan.
And actually, it kind of makes it believable too, because the moment where Kylo knows where she is because they hit the thing holding the Vader mask,
Yep.
and the Vader mask goes from one side and drops on Kajimi because it now goes through the Force. And I like how if that had been the reveal, you'd be like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
But they slowly built it up where it
Yep.
makes sense
Yes.
based in the story.
And the way they shot it too, they had that one shot where it was like going behind Kylo in his office.
Yeah.
And then by
Right.
the time you were on the other side, he was on Kajimi or whatever that planet is. That was cool
It
stuff.
was a cool flip, yeah.
He says, there's more to you. I'll tell you when I get there. And sure enough, he gets there. And then in person, as they're all trying to escape, Finn, Poe, they've left with the Falcons. We know they're trying to save Rey at some point. She's trying to leave. Kylo arrives. And Kylo just tells her. He's like,
Yeah.
you're the granddaughter of the Emperor.
This is literally the Empire Strikes Back moment. This is literally
Yeah.
Luke sitting on the end of
Yeah.
the thing, Cloud City, like, join me right now. Here's your lineage. What are you going to do? You can jump off
Yep.
the edge of this thing or come and join
And,
the dark
Right.
like
side.
aesthetically, it was A New Hope, the Obi-Wan versus Vader scene. Like
Yeah.
all the stormtroopers lined up and just watching them on that hangar. I got like those vibes. And then the way the Falcon like blows them all away, because I was like,
Yeah.
how the hell is she getting away from this? There were a lot of that, but I felt like every time that I was like, oh, like that, cool.
Cool use of the Falcon again. The back
Yep,
that blows
yep.
everyone away. It gives her
And
time
Rey
to
and
jump.
Kylo, the only two that could still stand up, like
Yeah.
showing how much stronger they are. That was cool.
So they jet
Good
away.
jump onto the
Very
Falcon
great jump.
also. Great
The swing
jump.
around
Mhm.
and-
Yeah.
Swing.
Yep.
Oh.
Great at jumping and flipping.
She
They-
really is.
They head to Endor, which is where 3PO's like Sith reading abilities reveal that the Wayfinder is on a moon of Endor, Kef Bir, which I don't think they say in the movie, but they reference Endor. So that's where they go. They crash land there because the landing gear is down.
Yep.
They meet Janna, who is a former stormtrooper.
Yeah, first
Her
order.
whole
Yeah.
tribe is former stormtroopers.
Yeah.
The whole
Yep.
company or
the
whatever.
people on the
Yep.
horses.
And they're going to fix the ship and find ways to get to the Death Star. Rey says, fuck that, I'm going now. Takes a jumper to the Death Star. Arrives on the Death Star. Finn and Poe have a little bit of a tiff, little argument about
Yeah.
things.
You're not Leia.
Yeah, the
it's
plan,
like, yeah.
and it's like I think Poe has gotten pretty frustrated with Finn just literally chasing Rey around wherever she
Yeah.
goes. He's like, seriously, like you're gonna run away again? Like this is not the plan. I liked her little backstory of kind of just saying like we were asked to just kill children and we all just mutiny basically, you know. But because I thought
Yeah, that
it
battle
tied
sounded
really
cool. Like, I
well.
would like to see that mutiny.
I know,
in
like
some
I thought it
future
tied really well with them towards the end being like, will people show up to help us?
Yeah,
And I was like, I liked that kind of at the beginning that you kind of get a glimpse that there are maybe so many more people
It's the
Inherent
who
perfect-
are,
it's
yeah,
the perfect Star
yeah.
Wars hope thing. It
Yes.
pushes hope the
And
entire time.
and I answer the question, was Finn the only one ever to not like being a
Yeah.
stormtrooper? It's like clearly not.
Right,
They're not
right.
clones
Exactly,
or whatever.
Yeah.
exactly.
They're basically engineered robots.
But
like
the way
people,
they met
these
too, and they were
stormtroopers.
just like, "Wait, you're defected too?" Is the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
time
And
they're
I
like,
see
"Oh,
their-
cool."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Rey just like decides to go to the Death Star
Yeah.
alone.
And we got classic Finn yelling, "Ray!"
Like,
gotta
oh,
just
Yelled
just
that
He
in
loves that
trilogy.
shit.
loves it,
We get a
loves
nice
it.
parallel here, her climbing up through the Death Star.
Yeah,
Very
that
similar
was
to
climbs the
beginning
Death
of
Star.
Force
The
Awakens.
way she was climbing
The
up
maps
Star
in
Destroyer.
the map was in the knife.
Right.
I guess that
So
makes
they
the
had
knife
used-
more
That was
and more.
like
Yeah.
They
Guy
finally
behind us
used-
thought that was the funniest thing of all time. By the way.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I won't out him because he's an actual well-known critic. He laughed at everything in the world, and for some
He
reason,
loved that map scene.
Yeah, see, I didn't know if I couldn't tell if the laugh was like a sincere laugh or
It
a
felt
laugh
very
was,
sarcastic.
or a laugh
No,
was
it-
like, or if
so-
it was like a really sarcastic,
venomous.
like,
I've been in
oh,
movies with him
really?
before.
Like, she's gonna put the knife over the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
if you live in New York or visit New York, there is a reviewer. I won't say them by name. Their reviews are everywhere you go or drive. There's your hint. I've been in movies with him. He just thinks everything's funny. So all power
I like
to
that
him.
guy. Hell
Whatever.
yeah, hell yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
But
That
you're
guy
right,
just loves everything.
As Fran said, she has the Sith dagger, the thing to find the thing, and she pulls out like a side of it, and it
Yeah.
Like a protractor.
protractor.
I was about to say
Yep.
protractor.
protractor, and
Yeah.
it kind of shows the shape. It was kind of hard to understand what the fuck we were looking at, but
I think it was
Like
it was
the
like a
top
you are
of
here.
the top of the knife.
Pointing
like
to
outline
room
the
where
The
it
bottom
right.
of the knife lined up with the top of the Death Star, and then the protractor was an arrow that pointed at
You are
something.
here, or you
yeah.
go here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then, she takes the jumper, goes in there. She doesn't want to wait till the next day. There's no time. Some cool little elements in the Death Star. A lot of stormtrooper.
Yeah.
That's
That's
all
cool.
over the
Did you
Yeah, I
notice
like that.
The thing she jumped from was the thing that Obi-Wan had
Yep.
to turn the generators
Yep.
off. In
The
A
big
New
generator
Hope.
off pylon. Yep.
That's awesome. Just the cool little Easter eggs.
The little stuff was cool. The stormtrooper helmets, like you said,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
armor, that
Yeah.
stuff was cool.
She goes right into the throne room.
Yeah.
Very quick. Very
and
convenient.
getting that Return of the Jedi
Yeah, that
cue
same cue.
from John Williams. Ooh, that
it.
hit
Yep.
hard.
It's a very soft Jedi theme,
Yes.
right? Where it's like just like almost like the bells really quick. I don't know
Yeah.
what instrument he uses for it, but
Who knows?
she then goes through this door. Who knew there was a door in the throne room?
Right.
She goes through this
There's
door.
a door, and also when it opens, you assume immediately like, oh, something's fishy with this.
Right. And she walked in and
Technology
immediately
comes
closed.
Death Star. Yeah.
She goes in. She basically has the Luke moment in Empire Strikes Back. She like fights her evil self. That's the double-sided
Yes.
flipping lightsaber.
Dope.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did not. I thought the clip we saw in the trailer would be the only thing we saw of that Rey. We actually get a quick little fight.
Yeah, yeah.
And we get like they go back and forth. I think evil Rey is like, accept who you are. Don't deny
Yeah.
your fate or whatever.
Yeah, don't be
And then
afraid
she
of
has
whatever
like
it
those
is.
Palpatine teeth. When
Oh,
when she, like,
yeah.
flares out
She
her-
like hissed.
Yeah.
It looked
was
like,
a hiss.
Yeah.
Bilbo,
Yeah.
you know when
Yeah.
Bilbo freaks out at Frodo
Yeah.
in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kylo arrives, takes the Wayfinder, crushes it. Like
Yeah,
if you're
she
gonna,
like falls back and he's like
Yeah.
there.
She
Yeah.
Which was another
like
shit.
if you're gonna
moment.
go to Exegol, you're going with me. Crushes the Wayfinder. They have this huge lightsaber duel, which I will have a complaint about. Didn't think there was enough music during it. It felt a little.
There was no music during the beginning of it, and I was like, I guess this is their like stylistic choice where they're like, all right, there's never been a lightsaber fight with no music.
I thought it was a cool fight, but I also felt like we weren't progressing with anything. I don't know. It was a fight for the sake of a fight, right? I wanted a little more passion, like the Luke and Vader fight in Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
That's like one
That's
of the
huge.
more raw fights, or the Kylo
Yeah.
and Rey one.
Yeah.
I just felt as though it was.
Well, I mean, they were very like towards the end they were wiped, like they were tired. Like you
Yeah.
could tell,
Yeah.
like
It
you
was-
could
it
even
was
tell,
kinda
like
cool seeing
like it
that.
was they would almost pause, like they both knew, and then like Rey would try and
Yes.
go in again, but
So something I liked about it a lot more compared to some of the previous tools, a lot of use of the Force in this. They use the Force
Yeah.
to stop
Yes.
the lightsaber. They use the Force in Force jumps. Most other lightsaber duels we have in all the
a
trilogies,
lot of
it's
good
just-
flips in this one too.
Yeah, and this usually
watching,
saber
like,
v saber.
Finn and Janna catch up to them, and they're like near the Death Star, so they're
Yeah.
watching it happen.
Oh, and she
seeing
sends-
like them,
yeah.
like seemingly pretty normal human, quote unquote, people watch these Force users make those giant jumps from
Yeah.
piece to piece. That was really cool.
And it's like,
That
hey
was
Finn, we can't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a noted hater of the Phantom Menace fight because I think it's over choreographed just for like fan porn, basically. I don't say this one's that at all because
Yeah.
I do like this one has more raw elements. And my one thing is like I always kind of thought she was Palpatine, if for one thing only, and that was the way she like
Her
fought
fighting
with
style.
a lightsaber. She
Yeah.
kind of stabbed, and she does kind of do the backwards thing we saw her do on Octo and
Yeah.
Last Jedi. So it was a cool fight, but there was something about it that didn't hit maybe right off the top. We also never got dual fates. We never got
Yeah.
a full dual fates
Yeah, I was
from
expecting
dual
that.
fates
I was
kinda
from
expecting at
Phantom
some point,
Menace.
yep.
But they put it in the marketing, and that's fucked up.
Yeah,
that
it
was
was fucked
That
up.
wasn't cool.
I was
That was
expecting
my only
it.
like
And
real
that was the
anger.
moment. You had a narrow passageway they're fighting
Yeah,
at. That's literally the
that was-
dual
I was
fates
Yeah.
right
expecting
there.
it either here or in that final scene when
In the
when
end,
you
yeah.
hear that sort of like opera chant like
Yeah.
thing. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, here it comes, and then we didn't get it. The ending of this fight I loved.
Yeah.
I thought this was
Ending
really
is cool.
really well done.
Something different we haven't seen. Leia senses something. You can tell something's wrong with Leia, and she senses Kylo. She senses a struggle with Ben and / Kylo. And it seems though she's giving herself up to the Force, kind of like Luke did with his Force vision in Last Jedi. And it stops Kylo dead in his tracks.
Yeah.
And Rey then stabs and kills
She
him.
actually says Ben. I think she was like, she's calling to him one last time. Like,
and they said it was like this is gonna take all the strength
Everything
that
she
she
has
has
left,
left.
yeah.
Maz
Yeah.
Kanata
Kanata,
says
yeah.
it.
yes,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
glad we got a little more Maz.
little more Maz, yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah.
Practical Maz. They didn't use the CGI effects they used from The Force
Oh,
Awakens.
really?
A lot of that was practical, which
I
looked
didn't
way
even
better. Did you,
realize that.
It did look way better.
Did you
Yeah.
think she looked way better?
Yeah.
It did look
Especially
way
in the
better.
sunlight. She's in the sunlight
Yep.
a lot of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stabs Kylo. Kylo
With his own lightsaber.
With his own
The way
lightsaber.
she's- the backhand stab too. Oh.
Right
Yeah.
through the gut.
He is dead, but not really, because Rey uses the power she teased. She heals him. He comes back to life. That was the gore I said. That's like the biggest wound we've seen in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Gross. The way it
That
regenerates
was really
is
gross.
disgusting.
Yeah.
She says, like, I would have taken your hand. I wanted to take your hand.
Right.
But I want to
Yeah.
take Ben's hand.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take Kylo's
It was a
hand,
good
right?
Rey moment of her not, giving into the dark side and just murdering somebody.
And I think this is one of my complaints maybe about the movie is just a lot of the serious dialogue I thought was really bad in this movie. That was one moment where I think it really worked. And
Yeah.
a lot of the the non-joke dialogue I was just like felt like so forced and everything. Sometimes with the person we
Forced,
saw,
nice.
One of the people in this that we were just talking about, Leia, didn't really work a lot, but mostly because obviously they were working with what they had with Carrie Fisher.
I think they
Right.
did the best job they could with Leia.
Yeah,
Memory
Totally.
scenes were
yeah, and that's
filmed
totally fine with me.
for this.
But there were moments with Leia where I was like, oh yeah, that could be applied to literally
Any moment in any.
Oh yeah, I mean she had very like
Limited
open-ended,
dialogue,
kind
a lot
of
of her shot from the
ambiguous
back.
lines, which
They did a
Fair.
good job
with what they
working.
had.
It was a puzzle with Leia, you know.
And it
You
was,
had
and
to
I-
do the puzzle and
I liked how they had kind of said their goodbye to her as a way of also
Yes.
Say goodbye
Yeah.
to Carrie.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is a nice moment, though, because you do believe that, too. Because
Yeah.
she did want to go with Kylo in The Last Jedi, but at that point, he was Ben. He just hacked
Yes.
down all the Praetorian guards. More characters who just...
Yep.
And now,
Not
Anyone
not
that wears like red armor, you're
you're
not
fucked.
good at your job.
Dead,
if you're a
always.
Sith trooper, you're fucked. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Sith troopers again, they were nothing.
Yeah.
So then she revives him, but she's like, I'm not here to, I'm not dealing with your bullshit right now. She takes his TIE fighter, flies away. He stands up, return to Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's
shocking.
now Ben, basically. But he tells, it's a dream, too.
We hear him
And
say,
they're-
"Hey kid."
Yeah.
I heard that and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
They're very adamant to tell you that that's it's a vision, not a force
Yeah.
ghost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
They're-
I think is
it's a
is
memory.
Good. I think
Yeah.
that's good
important.
because
Yes.
it would have bugged me if they didn't.
If
honestly.
Han has the force, I would have been
yeah,
Right,
I
right,
would
right.
have been upset.
mad online fan
Yeah.
because that's just not Han Solo.
Yeah.
That's like Han shoots first territory. That's not who Han is.
I took it
Yeah.
as either maybe some kind of Leia sending like some kind of force vision to him. I took it even more so as like he just had this near-death experience.
Yeah.
And his head is like
I was thinking
everywhere
that
right now,
too.
like-
Of more, it was more of his
he just-
the force on his side
Yeah.
projecting this to him, not
It's
not
almost
necessarily
what-
the other way around.
It's almost what he wanted to hear.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
his dad. You know what I mean? And it was a complete parallel.
He
of,
tells him Ben is
The
dead.
Force Awakens.
He's like, Ben is not dead. Kylo Ren is dead.
He
You're
says the
alive."
same line.
And it is. He says, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I can do it. He
Yep.
recites the same thing,
Yep.
and it's on a long, narrow like plank beam.
Offers
takes
the thing.
lightsaber out
Yep.
again. Yep.
And then takes the lightsaber and throws it into the water. He still could have used it, but I get it. That's the
It was a
connection.
hell of a
sure.
chuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough move. Then you're like, I have the lightsaber now. But he is good again. He turns around. Han is gone, but he's had that moment. Leia also passes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, Leia's definitely now dead.
They put a tarp over her.
Yeah, very sad. Rey goes to Ahch-To, where Luke was in the last movie, where she trained. The ship crashes, all that shit.
I think she tortures her shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It
she
landed
does.
fine, but she was like, "Fuck you," and just be like, "I need to
Which
stay
we see
here.
in
I'm
the
not
trailer.
leaving." Yeah.
Yep.
Can we theorize, like, what was that? Is she
I
burning
said, could that be like Kylo Ren's funeral? Is she watching him burn at the end? I didn't know, but yeah.
Is removing the temptation to even ever possibly leave.
Yeah.
which is
Story,
what
yeah.
Luke did. Luke buried didn't bury, but sunk the X-Wing.
Yep.
They have a chat. Rey's
Yeah,
still the
'cause
last
she's,
hope.
she's throwing. She keeps throwing
Like
these
logs
logs
in
into
the
the
fire,
fire, and
yeah.
then she eventually looks at the saber and throws the
Throws it.
saber, and he catches it and walks out, and he's like, "You shouldn't disrespect
Like
an
the
ancient
Jedi's
weapon
weapon,
like
yeah.
this."
And you knew he was going to show up.
Of course.
Here's a thought. I only got to talk to Robbie about this. When Yoda appeared in The Last Jedi, remember what people said? They're like, God, that looks bad, right? Like, the
Yeah.
effect looks bad.
I loved it.
I
thought
don't
was
think
great.
it looks bad. I think Force Ghosts with new technology just look weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Right.
don't look.
It's
We're
yeah.
so used to the
different
really
than they did.
shitty version that looked like a 2D image.
Yeah, it's just
It looks fine. It's just weird.
It's
yeah.
like Dr. Manhattan or
It's
something.
just different than the original trilogy looked.
Yes.
It's not that weird.
Nothing wrong with that necessarily,
No,
but-
like it dawned on me now that we've seen it with Luke that I'm like, they don't look bad.
much
It's just-
detail.
It's yeah. I was gonna say it's almost too detailed. It's like and there it's a little too like I don't know what the like ghost like almost, but it's like
Yeah.
but it's like
The aura.
yeah, but it's some not even that.
Not like
it's
the
like
glowing
they're
Force Ghost,
Yeah.
like-
yeah. You know,
like
like
ghost-
where
like
it
in
used
the-
to be
a little
almost
more
where it
like
used to
feathered or
almost look
something.
like it was
A projection.
yeah, like
Yeah,
like a hologram.
exactly,
Like
yes.
it used to be more like like that. This felt like
It looked
you
like
could
Haunted Mansion.
see
Disney, like
right.
exactly.
Right.
Like if you're on an Instagram filter, you're just like bumped sharpen up to like. max.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill's hair
Oh
flowing.
wow! He had
Oh,
that
boy.
full on,
Flowing.
big time.
he got a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and the other side.
I liked the speech he gave to Rey though. I thought that was
I did too.
I thought that was
Yeah.
a really good
Yeah.
Luke moment. And it's sort of everyone always says, you know, the Last Jedi murdered his character. They murdered this, they murdered that. I hate
Character
that.
arc. Same as like a Captain America in Endgame for me. People
Totally.
people hated his arc as well, but people change.
Yeah.
People change,
Multiple
and
times.
that's what he was trying to tell Rey. And he says right away, "Why are you afraid? Because you're a Palpatine." And she's shocked that he knows. And he said, "Leia knew too."
Yeah, and that-
But
that-
Leia-
They all-
I loved the old flashback Like of
I kind of like that
so
too. It looked good. That's Sebastian Stan or something. It looked
It
so
looked
good.
it
So
looked
Leia,
so
I thought,
good,
looked
and I
pretty good.
loved that for Leia's story of
Yes.
her, like her finishing that off, like and saying like the basically connecting with Ben in that last second, like connecting it to that made so much sense. She's like she put her saber down because she knew that was not where her Jedi's story was going to end. I love that. I thought that was
flashback
great.
One of the I want to call it one of the highlights because
I got
Yeah.
huge chills on that.
I was
it was
so
crazy.
taken aback, and when the force shield goes up and you see Luke Skywalker's face, it was
Yep.
just like how did
Yeah.
technology?
I wonder what was Sebastian Stan.
By the way, people complaining about Leia, we'll be bringing her way back into the ship on Last Jedi. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Force powers.
yeah.
She has force powers.
Yeah.
She does. She's very much in the Force. I do wonder if Sebastian Stan, if they had an actor play
Yeah,
the role.
because he's been asked that
I know,
a thousand
Yeah.
times.
so
Like, will you
much
play
like
Mark
a
Hamill?
young,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, maybe.
And Leia, I thought
Stand-in.
looked very good as well. Not
Yeah.
as good as the Mark Hamill, young Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like ugh.
It was
it
a
wasn't.
great just like 30 seconds to like wrap
Yes.
up that ending
also,
for her.
The way they were fighting was like sick.
Yeah, yeah.
It was, like,
a little
some kind of
nostalgia porn.
training
Nothing wrong
thing.
with that.
So he convinces them. Luke convinces Rey, that is, gives Leia the lightsaber, like you said, has the
Yep.
flashback of Luke and Leia training back in the day. Pretty fucking cool.
Leia, great lightsaber hilt.
Yep.
Kind of feminine, but kind of
Yeah, yeah.
badass. Very
Yeah.
cool.
But I
looked
feel like
like
that
it-
really fits her,
Yeah,
That makes sense for
It
her.
reminded me of the Return of the Jedi hilt, or like Luke's hilt from that one, right?
Yes,
like those
yeah,
circular
that's what
rings
it
that
reminded
go
me
up
of
the
as well.
top.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought it was for a second. I was like, wait, didn't it destroyed? I'm not sure. Yeah, but that's where we're at.
Pulls the X-wing out of the water. Luke does his old lift because she has no way to get off the
I already
planet.
know that I'm going to hear it from the Last Jedi haters. Why didn't Luke just fly his own X-wing to Crate then? If he could have done. I don't want.
Shut up.
I don't want to hear it. He didn't have time.
Pulls the X-wing out. She flies the
busy.
X-wing.
Yeah.
I was expecting a line there when he pulled it out, like, damn, yeah, look at me now, Yoda. I can do it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you like that? And Yoda's
Yeah.
up
He
there
does
like,
give a little smile. Like,
Yeah, he's like,
"That's
yeah,
fucking
check
right,
it out."
motherfucker."
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
it. It's been years. I finally did it. So anyway, they all. She leaves. She's going to now go straight to
Exegol.
Exegol.
Yeah.
She has the Wayfinder in there. Connects the Wayfinder to the X-wing. Again, old lightsaber as well. First Order has planet-killing weapons. We find out.
Shocker.
Blowing up planets.
Yeah.
Shocker. They blow
Big
up.
shock.
They blow up Kajimi or Kamiji, whatever
Yeah,
the planet
they're
is.
just
Kajimi.
miniaturizing everything now.
R.I.P. It was a different like planet destructing
red.
animation we've ever seen.
Yeah, that's
It
true. It
was,
was
yeah,
slower.
Yeah.
Planet.
I don't know. Just
Planet,
Star Wars
planet
and blowing
pulling up
planets. They can't
technology.
stop.
Get
Yeah.
rid of it. That's
We
it.
can move on.
That's it. We've ruined it.
I felt like there was a collective groan in the theater when Poe was like, "They can blow up planets."
Of course, they all
It
blow up planets.
was.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
They have a funeral for Leia on the Resistance-based planet. Dio reveals that he knows the way because he was with Ochi.
He was on Ochi's ship.
He was on
Makes
Ochi's
sense.
ship who was going to.
Good way to tie that in.
Exlord,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was neat. Yeah, made sense.
Gives him a purpose.
Exactly. He was relevant to the story.
Right.
I like that. That was okay. I made fun of Dio for a long time. You have the toy Dio.
yeah,
You
I
got
do,
sent
yeah.
the toy. I made fun of Dio. It's just toy-o, basically. It's merchandise pushing Dio. Relevant to the story, worked
Yeah.
out fine.
I like the introvert Dio. Anytime
Yeah,
anyone
yeah.
come near me, he's like, no, thank you.
Yep.
No,
He's
thank
like,
you.
Fuck you, I don't want
Also,
this.
Like the sad moment when like Leia passes away and he's there and he's just like
Sad.
sad.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like a
Sad.
Trump tweet.
Paul
Sad.
has a nice little moment with Leia, kind of gets teared
Very
up.
nice. That was maybe the most like
Yeah.
emotional when,
Yeah.
when he's just very. I don't know how I could do this. I don't know how I could fill your shoes because she appointed him acting general.
Especially
Yep.
considering this loops back to the Last Jedi arc where he wanted to take control so bad. He's like,
Yep.
I know better than all of you. I know I'm the fucking king here. And then like once he like is now in this, actually in the situation, he's like, fuck, I really don't know what to do.
Right.
So they're going to all head to Exegol to go follow Rey because they see on the map R2 freaks out because R2 restores 3PO, restores
Yes.
3PO's
Nice
memory,
moment.
and freaks out like, oh shit, it's Luke, and they realize that it's Luke's ship, and Finn's like, that's Rey, so they follow her. They need a fleet. They need
And
troops.
Lando's with him as well at this point.
They're under this-
Because Lando has that
Yes.
moment with Poe
Yes.
where he says, you know,
Back
we're
in
all
his
coming.
full kit and
in
everything.
the yellow,
looking cool as hell.
looking
yeah,
good
yeah.
with the cape. They're underneath the Tantive, same ship from the first movie as well. They still, I don't know how that's still kicking, but it is.
I think it should be dead.
That should definitely be blown up. So they mentioned something from The Last Jedi. They said they made that call on Crate for more
Yeah.
Jedi. First of the fucking Broom Kid. Remember Broom Kid?
Broom Kid, yeah.
Yep.
Who's Broom Boy? Broom Boy's really like
Another
Luke
clone of
Man in
Palpatine.
Watchmen.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I guess they did. If you want to say they advanced on that, like Finn gets the Force in this movie.
Yeah.
So it's like they're showing more and more people can the
Be
Force,
sensitive at least
if
to
you
it.
will.
Yeah.
The Force can awaken in somebody.
But they bring up that everyone's scared.
Yeah.
And no one wants to come fight. And Lando says there are more of us than them. Remember that for a minute from now. So Rey is there on Exegol. Ghost sees Palpatine in this arena.
yeah.
Big stadium of
Yeah.
just like Siths, basically.
A bunch of people wearing the
Just
robes.
a bunch of people in cloaks.
And it was super creepy. Everything about this planet was legitimately terrifying. Like I was watching this and thinking of my 5-year-old nephew in mine, Luke, and I'm like, is he gonna be like
what?
terrified
It was a cool, like almost like you felt like it was like an underground Coliseum type thing, like an old worn down statues and sculptures, and they're all it's like a big lightning. Yeah, exactly, like the opposite underworld Coliseum
definitely
kind of
like
situation.
When they said this is like where all the Sith cult members have been living, and it's the Outer Rim, it's untracked. This is like the Sith planet. As soon as you get there, you're like, oh, I see why they picked it. I see why they picked this on Zillow.
Yeah.
So they're down there. Palpatine's like, fulfill your destiny, strike me down. Everything will transfer. All the Sith will transfer along with me into you.
And he calls her Empress Palpatine.
Empress, pretty cool moment.
One of the coolest. I hope when they sell Dark Ray action figures, that's what it says.
You get a little throne with it in the back.
He's on a big claw too.
Yeah, he's a big.
It's also a phenomenal now additional Halloween costume for kids to play Evil Ray.
Definitely.
Yeah,
big folding saber.
And you have the double blade.
Then you get to have the double sword and the double lightsaber. People are definitely going to want the double
black robe is just so
Ian
cool. So I liked Ray's outfit in this one, the white robe with she has like a Jedi hood now.
Octo.
I thought that was a cool outfit.
Ian McDermott, I think, kind of killed in this. Like every single time his voice came into play, the way they boomed it out, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yes.
Like I think that's one of the better parts of this movie.
Ian
is his job.
He has to do it
for his performance. He has a do it, and he has a good.
He gets to deliver his line. He hasn't lost it.
It's nostalgia point.
Something about him just really is you're just like every word that comes out of his mouth, you're like, ugh.
Yeah. He's disgusting.
And he's like blind. He has
also,
the weird
way
face.
he looks, he's only whites in his eyes.
The white eyes is freaky.
He really looks like a dead person.
He just wants to die.
And he says, "I've died before," which was a great line.
I was cynical. It played well. Again, I was cynical about it going in. I didn't know if it was going to work. It ended up playing well. And part of it because Ian McDermott is just really great at playing the Emperor. Kylo has arrived in a TIE fighter. He's now
in his casual wear.
Yeah, and
his long johns.
He's stripped down and just like long sleeve t-shirt.
Yeah, he's just like in a long sleeve black, like looks like maybe like a waffle print, like a kind of bad boy.
Jeans.
Yeah,
it was a weird.
That'll be my
look.
Halloween costume this year, I guess.
A weird look.
Ben Solo.
He's fighting the Knights of Ren. He's fucked though. He's kind of cornered.
He only even blows down one.
No saber.
He's got a blaster. Yeah.
And no saber.
I'm sure by the time he got there, he's like, I could have used that saber.
Yeah.
They apparently are Force users, so that's what I've been told. So
he blew the one guy away like very easily without a problem.
So she has her lightsaber like this. Looks like she's gonna stab Palpatine. Really, she does the Force bond and gives it to Kylo. He strikes everyone down.
Amazing moment.
Cool.
Amazing moment. One
it
of the
was
coolest
really
moments
cool.
in the whole movie.
And then it's Kylo and Rey in front of Palpatine, ready to go up in space. Not going well for the Resistance. The fleet has not arrived. There's been no help.
No.
Some people
are going down. Like,
they're on horses.
Ships are going down fast.
Very quickly. Yeah. Snap.
Snap
Greg
actually
Grunberg?
died. Yep.
Yeah.
JJ killed his friend, Greg Grunberg. Yeah. They're on horses. On the edge of
they were like horse walruses.
Those were cool. I liked that.
What I did notice is that the Sith troopers, I saw one of them take a blaster off the armor and like bounced off, and he just like the guy just like stumbled and got back up, and I'm like, all right, their armor finally works.
Little Beskar.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Like
little Beskar
in
steal from the
Mandalorian.
armor.
Plastic anymore.
Yeah.
Going bad up there, about to go really bad down below because Palpatine's like, oh shit, the two of you bond? I can just steal all your power.
What does he call? He calls him a Force something.
I forget the name.
Force dyad. A Force.
Okay.
He says you're a Force dyad.
And he was like the Force of two was Jedi.
Because Kylo and Rey talk about that. Kylo's like, he doesn't know that you and I are one and the same, which Snoke talks about. When one rose, the other rose as well.
Yes.
They're connected. He takes him, and boy, he looks fresh again. His fingers grow back. Gross.
He does like the Dementor shit to them. Just
sucks their souls out.
More
Yep.
fucking Harry Potter.
that
a lot of Harry Potter stuff.
Lightning.
That's a Harry Potter.
Very soul sucky.
Two things about this. One, the moment where Ben Solo and Rey each have Luke and Leia's lightsabers, and they just raise it. Me and Fran like,
oh, I know.
Oh my god, this is happening right now. Ben Solo and Rey. And then when he takes it, his fingers regrow, and then when you first see the yellow in his eyes, it's like, oh my god, the Emperor's back.
He's feeling good. He's on the ground again. He's good to go. And then he takes Ben. At this point, Ben, we'll call him Ben. It's not just Kylo anymore.
He's Ben.
Tosses
I'll
him.
give him
that respect.
Just fucking tosses him.
He's like, I'm gonna throw a throwback.
I was
reference
thrown
at you.
down once before. Now you can be thrown down.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna throw a fucking Skywalker down a hole.
Yeah.
But then right previous to this is when all the good guys show up because then after this.
we hear basically it's Poe saying he's about to die.
Sorry, everybody. I thought some people were commenting something, and he's like, "Oh,
My bad.
General just being like, "Oh shoot, I led you all to your death."
It's been an honor serving with
Here's
you.
the other
That kind of
Marvel
vibe.
moment, very much on your left Portals vibe from Avengers
Right.
Endgame, because you hear over the loudspeaker, it's like, there's more of us than them, and it's Lando, and he's in.
It's like a Dunkirk fleet showing up with all these random ships.
Most ships of all time.
Most ships ever.
And I wish we were able to have the screenshot. I could try to pick him out, but I know the Ghost from Rebels is in there. There are.
Yeah, I saw Y-wings, A-wings, U-wings, everything.
So the Falcon flies in, shoots some stuff. Wedge makes his return.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wedge Antilles, baby.
Yeah.
You said he has no helmet on.
Yeah,
though.
no helmet. He
gotta wear a helmet.
And
Wedge
he-
wears
and
his
he
helmet.
got
Maybe
like
he got the call late, and he was
he
just
got
like,
2
I gotta
seconds.
go.
Yeah.
He did.
He like he got
He's like, honey, where's my super suit at home?
truly 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Where's my helmet?
He's the Uncle of Ewan McGregor. Remember,
Yep.
he told Ewan McGregor famously to not do Star Wars. So they're like, you're in it, but also you don't
we
get
don't
much
remember.
time.
No, you just get to like
Shitting
say
on
something to
Star.
Lando,
Yeah,
and
one
then
frame.
you're cut.
Yeah.
We asked you a couple years ago. You said no.
That shot of all the Resistance ships arriving put chills all
Huge
over my
chills.
body,
Oh.
chills down my spine.
Music goes up,
The music's amazing, and I assume that'll be dissected for years to come.
They're attacking the big Final Order ship because the antenna
Huge
they
ass
initially
fleet.
went for, they transferred it. General Pride, Richard E. Grant transferred it to that ship. That's kind of the main hub.
I enjoyed that so much because as they were attacking the antenna, in the back of my mind, I was like, why is it always like the first thing that the Resistance realizes, the Rebels realize, like, oh, if we destroy that, we're good.
Yeah, that's
it always
true.
works. Like the Empire never said, oh fuck, they're onto us. Let's
fix
change
it.
something up.
Let's
so
put-
the Empire actually like it was a back and forth. It was a fight.
It's like in was it Blue Harvest when Stewie's like, can we put some planks over the hole in the Death Star or something? Like, fix this a little bit.
Zori Bliss shows up with Babu Frick.
That
Yep.
was nice.
Babu Frick.
Glad to see that guy survive.
Did he have to be in the cockpit? Probably not.
Yeah.
But he was just there. I'm
pretty sure someone-
Hey, I
wanted
mean,
to
this
show us that
guy's
he
got
was
a
on
very like impressive skill set. Who knows what Babu could have
Yep.
been doing on there?
Oh, right before this, we should note General Hawk's big time gunned down.
Oh, yeah,
by
that
General
guy's
Pride.
dead.
Yeah.
You didn't mention that. Glad you brought that up. Yeah.
So true.
Richard E.
Pride was
Grant.
onto him immediately.
Richard
Yeah.
E. Grant nominated for an Oscar last year. He has no time for spies.
My really
He's
good
gonna
friend,
shoot you.
my good friend Richard E. Grant.
That's
So
true.
come hang out with me
That's true.
again.
You guys
He's your
met
good friend. Like a year ago. around
Yeah, a
this
year
time.
ago, and I said I can't wait to see you in Star Wars. It's going to be awesome.
Wow.
He was great.
look
He
at
was a good
that.
villain. He actually notes, he's like, the Resistance doesn't have a navy, and they make a funny line like, this isn't a navy.
It's
It's
just people.
people just
Just
showed up.
people.
Yeah.
I did think that we were going to see some more fan servicey things. I thought we might see some of the Rebels from
Yeah,
the show
yeah.
Star Wars Rebels. I thought we might see like, because you know in the prequels when they pan the crowd, you see like E.T. clapping. You know, like,
Yep.
I thought we were going to see different species. We didn't, which is fine. But I was
We
like,
saw the ship from
We
Rebels,
said we
which
get
is
that
good enough for
We
a
get
lot
like
of
the
people.
alien pan out in the end. I think we
Yeah,
get
that was
Yeah.
the Return of the Jedi. Let's check out the whole galaxy.
So the Emperor shoots up the greatest lightning of all time and takes out all the ships. So Nyan Nub was in Tantive 4. I felt
Yeah.
like he did
It
survive.
was in flames. It was in flames, man. It was going down.
Man,
Sad.
That's sad if he's dead.
It was. It was in flames.
I was like, that thing's going
All
down.
right, Nyan Nub's dead.
I will say, yeah.
You know
He's
what?
with his friend.
Rest in peace.
With his
Yep.
friend Admiral Akbar, but the ships
Rip
are
and
all
Han Solo,
falling.
yeah.
And
Is Admiral Akbar's son now a member of the Resistance? There was
There was
clearly
another
a younger,
Calamari.
so Palpatine's basically saying, "This is it. I got the Sith behind me. You're fucked. It's over."
Yep.
destroy the Jedi once and for all.
Yeah, and then Rey, we go up to the stars and we hear voices.
This is a great scene.
Many voices we hear. Another. It's just, I kind of wish we saw some Force Ghosts. This was a moment where you could put it in and no one would complain. I want to see Hayden a little bit, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
We hear their voice.
I like that we heard him.
We
Yeah.
hear Luke. We hear Leia. We hear Mace Windu. We hear Obi-Wan.
Yoda.
Yoda. We hear
Ahsoka?
Pretty sure
from the
Ahsoka,
cartoons?
yeah.
Ahsoka Tano from Rebels and Clone Wars is definitely actually Eckstein's voice, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because JJ teased
He
it the other
teased that,
day.
yeah, yep.
He did, which it made sense.
It's very much a Creed moment when
Mace
Creed's
Windu?
knocked down at the end of that.
Right,
thing,
right,
And
yeah.
he sees his father and he jumps up. They're all saying the same thing too. They're all saying, "Rise, come on,
Yeah,
Rey."
it's the Game
You know,
Master Anthony
1,000
moment,
Jedi's
yeah.
live in you. We were with you. Like it was so hype.
Mace Windu.
Yeah.
And then Yoda's the last
That was the one voice I was like, I'm like, where's Mace Windu? I want to
Yeah.
hear him.
Yeah.
Yoda second
Get up,
to last, and then it's
motherfucker.
Luke, like the Force will be with you always. She
Keanu
gets
Mundi.
up, and I feel like we heard Keanu Mundi.
I think so too. I don't know for sure.
No way.
Oh, big
I love
tall
big
ass
old
dickhead.
dickhead
I
guy,
don't know.
yeah.
We've been talking
No
a lot.
way.
We've been
Maybe
talking
Yaddle?
about
My
Mandalorian. That
God.
might be why I think that. So she deflects the lightning. Very similar moment to even just like Yoda versus Dooku. That kind of reminded me
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
And Palpatine. So they are kind of converging. Someone's about to win, and it's Rey. She's able to basically melt his face.
Well,
Yeah,
she,
Well,
Pulls back
she
the other
pulls
saber,
back
yeah.
the other saber.
Right, the second
so she
saber.
has
Force
the
for the
sabers of
second
both
saber.
Skywalkers
Yeah.
Now
to
I'm pumping the
defeat
seat
him.
again because I already forgot about the second
It's
saber.
so
Yep.
good. It's
got-
so good the way that whole moment is
Luke's
executed.
saber, Leia's saber, because it comes up the shaft
Yep.
that,
Yeah.
that Kylo fell down. melts the Emperor, and the Emperor's dead. All the ghouls in the audience disappear, just blown away. And it
all the statues are falling. It's cool stuff.
Destroys the place.
Saves Resistance. The ships are back in orbit. They're blowing everyone up.
Right. She goes down.
Yep, she does. She does look like she dies.
Yeah.
Jannah and Finn, they're trying to be saved because they're falling off the side of the ship because they were on foot.
Oh, yeah.
And Poe goes to save them, and he's like, he goes, trust me, I'm fast. And Lando's like, my ship's faster.
Yep.
He's back in the Falcon, saves them. And then Ben, here's the moment.
Yeah, here we go. Ben pulls himself up.
Crawls out of the hole.
Yep.
Gives his life back because he's now learned the ability to give life and heal to Rey. They kind of embrace, and I'm looking at
Yeah, they're so close. The phrases are so close.
Guys, I really didn't know what was going to happen.
Moment.
No, I
Please
thought it
don't
was a
do what I
beautiful
think
hug.
you're gonna do.
I thought we were going to get like an all-time like bad line of one of them like saying to each other like I don't even know what I was expecting. I was expecting like it just to be super cheesy of like it's up to you or like it's all like something crazy
Yeah, if they would have done I know.
but there was
That's what I
no
was wondering.
there was no words.
No, because
No
there was
words.
a kiss. There was a big
Just
kiss.
and like a kiss.
That was your freak out for the movie.
It was a for real kiss.
You were like, Fran was like, oh my goodness.
Oh my! I was blown away. I was like, you can't have these two kiss right now. I'm sorry. And it's like it's this weird like I get it, and
weird
we've
fan
always had
fiction.
this like Luke, Leia, and like, but they're
Pseudo romances,
It's this, it's the siblings, and it's this, and you're like, okay, now Rey. It feels like Rey is like a Skywalker, and you're like, that for them to kiss, I was like, come on.
It was a little strange.
So weird.
It was my least favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
It didn't ruin it for me. It didn't ruin like the whole ending for me. I still think everything with her and Ben on Exegol before that was awesome. I just would have preferred for them to like have that moment where they look at each
They're
other.
they have a bond. It's not the most ridiculous idea.
And I said
No,
going
but
to, like,
it's just
seeing it.
there's so many other
should be
things they could
platonic,
have done besides a kiss. Like there's like it adds
just dying right
it
there.
adds a romance level that
would've
has
been better.
just not existed. Like it added a romance level that we just didn't need.
If she just thought that, like, here's my moment, I personally, Ray, have redeemed Kylo Ren. I've made him good again, which is something
Even
she's
if
been
it
trying
was
for 2
just
movies.
even if it was just her hand on his face,
as he dies.
and like and a stare, and then he went down. Like that would have been perfect.
I can't believe they fucking kissed. That's
And then
if
he
you're not a
kissed.
huge Star Wars fan, like big Star Wars fan, there is a thing called Raylo. And there's a part of the fan base that are obsessed with these two getting together.
Oh well, they're gonna love this.
But and
They're
I talked
gonna
to someone
be
who
very
doesn't
happy.
like it, and he's like, I think they're gonna hate it because they didn't get married at the end. They're gonna be like, no, fuck that.
Oh right, it'll be like just forbidden. Like it'll just be a tragedy. Like
Yeah,
they
like, we didn't-
kiss and then he fucking dies.
We didn't want that.
But I think as they kissed, I think I might have said out loud like, okay, he has to die though. Please
Yep.
make him.
Yep.
No,
die.
that yeah.
And he does
Robbie
die.
was like, he's gotta die
he
now.
dies, and that's the moment I referenced earlier in this video. Robbie kind of went like this.
Yep.
He's like, yes.
He needed
But
to die.
He needed
I
to.
liked
Han Solo.
He's a
He
genocider.
did, and I liked the way they did it because he kind of it felt like he completed his
did.
his purpose.
Yeah.
His
And I
purpose
liked-
was what he was meant to do. He did, and he fades away, and they cut to Leia fading away at the same time, and I thought that was
also nice
very
that,
nice.
Leia
It
was
just made me
almost
think they all like
waiting to
reunited,
become
like
one with
he,
the Force,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So,
That he
I was a guy-
embraced the Force, and now all of them are together.
Going into this movie, I was very much like, I do not need to see the redemption. I just want
Yeah.
to see that guy die. I don't want to see it. The way they handled the redemption, I thought was very well. It did,
Yeah.
It wasn't like, okay, we're just doing the Vader thing. Again.
No, it didn't
was
feel like
way
he just
different.
turned good because he wanted to.
Way different.
And that's something I think we had usually not liked, I would say, about the Anakin redemption story is like, yeah, like, it was really cool that he tried to kill the Emperor at the end of Return of the Jedi, but he's still, like, if the Emperor is Hitler, this guy's Herren Goering. Like,
Right.
He's a fucking genocider who's
He's a
killed
horrible guy.
millions, like billions of people.
Yeah.
Kylo ordered the fucking destruction of the
Hosnian system.
The Hosnian system killed billions and billions of people.
Yes.
Not a good guy.
Including Han Solo.
Including
Yeah.
Han Solo. Like he
Can't
is a
kill Han Solo and
he's
be
an
all right.
incredibly bad guy, and that's something I never vibed with the end of like Return of the Jedi. Is like he's still a bad guy. He shouldn't be one with the Force. He shouldn't be a guy who's allowed among the ranks of people like Yoda and Obi-Wan who did nothing but dedicate their life for good. Like redeeming yourself at the last fucking second shouldn't allow that.
It's one good decision, and thank you for it. We appreciate
Yeah.
it. Ray's alive now. I was also worried that we were going to see his Force Ghost at the end. I did not want to see that.
Neither did I,
I thought
yeah.
that would have been strange.
Yeah, that would have been too
strange.
much.
So the final order is done. First order's done. They all blow up. We see a couple shots. We see a shot of Cloud City, which I actually texted you yesterday.
Yeah,
I know.
I said I want to see Cloud City again. We saw Cloud City. Nice shot of the Star Destroyer falling down. We see it on Endor. We see the Ewoks.
They say everyone's rising up everywhere to take out the remnants of the first order.
Yeah. So to crash on Jakku, I could have used for 2 or 3 more planets. Go. I was surprised when you get Coruscant.
Get on Naboo.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But I actually,
I like the Ewok shot.
I was
Ewok shot was great.
convinced we were going to see Naboo and see
Gungan.
and I kind of would have been okay with it.
We don't know
but
where Jabba's at.
Bill Burr got his job with Bill Burr brought the Gungans back with Mandalorian, so it's a slow process.
I loved the
Ewoks look good.
Ewoks did look good.
They look good.
Everything about the celebration was
Yeah.
a 10 out of 10.
It was simple.
Made me feel so happy.
They're back on Agent Kloss at the end there. They're all celebrating, lots of kissing. Poe definitely wants to get down with Zori Bliss. Big time denied.
Yeah, big time Doomy.
Oh
vibes.
yeah.
She's like, I don't fuck with
nope.
you. So yeah, they celebrate. A lot of hugs, a lot of embraces. I mean,
the Rey Poe Finn hug
That
was
embrace
Yeah, it was great.
Like,
It was a great
super
hug.
emotional, super
also
nice.
when
Cloud got a hug.
By the way, when Ben disappeared with the Force after he died, so did Leia at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Fran
Yeah, Cloud got a hug. Oh yeah, sorry. This again, it's a lot.
Oh, and something we skipped over. The most heart-wrenching moment of the movie for me was Chewie's reaction to Leia passing.
Yeah.
Chewie
Felt
took
those
that
knees,
hard.
man.
He really
It
did.
was like his last person from that generation.
There was a point though at the end where I'm like, the movie's had some fan service, but it's not that fan servicey. And then it just kicks into high gear. A lot of fan service. Chewie gets Han's medal.
Yeah.
Chewie finally gets a medal, and
Matt
actually
says you deserve this.
the parting shot when they zoom out, he's showing it off to 3PO like, look at this shit. I got it. 42 years later, I got one of these medals.
He deserved that. That made me I looked at you
So
guys
happy,
like,
yeah.
oh my God,
Yeah.
Chewie got his
Yeah, it
medal.
was
Like,
great.
people have wanted that for so long.
And then the last scene of the movie, they're on Tatooine. You see the Jawas. Jawas are back, by the way.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian.
Big time.
See the
Sandcrawler.
Sandcrawler. That thing's still kicking somehow. I don't get that. Whatever. Good maintenance.
Yeah.
So they fly in. They go to the
homestead,
Lars
yeah.
homestead. Yep. Very cool original stuff. It's been kind of buried by sand a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Which is for sure really what it looks like.
Yeah,
Because
on Jordan, right?
I know this is kind of
Maybe
dark,
somewhere
but
else.
It was overtaken by like fucking ISIS or some shit. I'm not even kidding.
Oh,
It was
no.
really, yeah, it was like really.
I think Disney has the resources to kick them out.
Yeah, they
Get it back.
I don't know if that's like the real. I don't know if they rebuilt it or not. Like it was
I
overrun.
know.
Or
I know.
something.
As of a few years ago, they did restorations to it.
Okay, so it was, but at one point it was like overrun. It was not. I probably already fucking bleeped out the
Stay out of
terrorist
there,
part.
ISIS.
So she has a nice moment there. She buries the lightsabers,
Yeah.
which is a nice
Force
memorial.
buries them. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Force buries them. She takes what looks like her staff out, which is just a lightsaber. No, it's a yellow blade.
Very cool.
I like that. I like that she gets her own color.
over,
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool yellow blade. And then BB-8's with her. We see the twin sons and some lady. It's like someone hasn't been here in a long time.
I cannot tell you how terrified I was that was going to be her mother because we never saw her mom die.
that
We saw her dad get
Right,
stabbed.
right,
we
right,
didn't see her
right.
mom die. I was like,
My
oh,
baby
fuck.
girl
We did never mention that her parents do get killed.
by Ochi.
Yeah.
Who's a Jedi hunter.
Big time
Which
stabbed.
I loved that storyline of like this blade killed her parents. You know, it revealed
Yeah.
the thing. All of that.
They mentioned, like, there's
I
more
thought
to
that
the
was
story,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she kind of looks off in the distance. She sees Force Ghosts Leia and Luke. The Force Ghosts look nice. I like those. Again, Force
Leia
Ghosts
in,
are
in
weird.
the original white robe.
Yeah, yeah.
I
she
would
looked
love to
great.
sit down with an ILM person and just talk like people who do the effects for Star Wars and be like, was that a weird thing to juggle? How do you make? Because there's a documentary called From Puppets to Pixels on YouTube. It talks about Yoda becoming from puppet to CGI for Attack
Right.
of the Clones, and they do talk about like how you can't. George said like you can't make him look like a Yoda frog guy because he's got to look like a puppet.
Right.
Like it's a weird balance. That's the thing with the Force Ghost. But it's a nice moment. And it's like, what's your last name? And she says Skywalker. She's now taking on the name of Skywalker, which is like fine. Like I'm sure some people are going to be bothered by that. I don't care.
I
like that. I think it works.
I was like very happy about that. Like
I totally think it works.
She
Yeah.
has no family, right? She got to take someone's name.
And
Yeah, she's not gonna go by Palpatine.
Doesn't work
Still
for you?
didn't like it. Didn't like it, man.
You didn't like that?
No.
I've wanted
I
her
thought
to
she was
be
going to
Rey
say,
Skywalker for
"Who
so
are
long.
you? I'm someone."
the
I thought that's what
line
she
was
say.
the Skywalker line was gone, so I feel like it's
Yeah, like
it's
the Skywalker
yeah.
lineage lives
Yeah.
on through
That's
her.
the kind of the point of the whole title of the movie, right? It's the Rise of Skywalker.
Yep.
Now it's like
Yeah.
that line continues to move on. I get it. It's just like it felt to me. I know how much you guys despise the Solo line, where it's
Hate
like
it.
I'm not so, I know
I
how much you
agree.
guys hate
It
that.
is.
I don't hate it like that. I'm just like,
It's not as like, well, yeah. It's,
I want this to be its own thing for once, and like, of course, the very last line of the movie is Skywalker.
For me,
Right.
like, for this being the conclusion of the Skywalker saga, I was going in the complete opposite way. Like, don't be its own thing. Give me the legacy.
fair.
Give me the callback.
I
give
can
me the
see
fan
both
service.
sides. I just thought she was going to say someone because she's like, "Who are you? No one." I thought she would say, "I'm someone."
Yeah.
and that's it. But it didn't matter. Cut to black. That's the movie.
The binary sons.
Yeah, beautiful. awesome.
Beautiful ending.
Always crazy to see a Star Wars logo pop on screen. I feel like you got to appreciate when you see Star Wars in a theater. So we'll wrap this up, but quickly, I hate doing this because it's a tough question to ask. Where do you place it? We'll start with Fran. Where do you place it among the other movies?
I think me and Robbie have ours if you want us to start.
Go ahead.
So I could start with mine. Usually takes me a few viewings to like really place it. After seeing this, I was like, I think I know exactly where it goes. So I go Empire, A New Hope, The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker, Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones.
I'm essentially in the same exact position, except for I have Sith right above this. Revenge of the Sith right above this.
Oh.
Just barely.
Oh,
We've had this discussion though.
I don't know. I've never even had to rank them. Like I've never been
I
asked.
would be intrigued by your
Bless
ranking.
your soul.
I think
on
I
that.
need to like think about it because I've never really had it. I've never
we'll come back
asked.
to you.
But I will say I think this falls. I think this falls in the top half for me, not instead of the bottom half. But I'm weird because I also love all. I love all the prequels.
So here, rank it for us this way. Out of the new trilogy, where do you?
Out of the new one, I would probably go Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker, Last Jedi.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Because you were Padme for Halloween once, right?
Oh yeah.
Exhausting
yeah.
hairstyle to put
Put this
together.
video. It's just
Classic.
It was not. It was Queen Amidala.
That's true.
It
That's
was,
true. Wow,
it
that's
was
a tough
not.
one.
It was not Pad. Like it was the full Queen Amidala.
thing? Damn.
My aunt reminded me recently that I made her get me a Queen Amidala birthday cake for that 5th birthday.
wow.
Yeah.
I would go Empire for sure. Empire's a perfect movie. A New Hope pretty close. Then I'd probably say Force Awakens. Force Awakens, I love The Last Jedi, but it's kind of fallen off me a little bit. But I'd put The Last Jedi above this, and then I think Rogue One, and then it kind of falls in order after that. But I think this is third out of the 3 for me. But I think this and Last Jedi, this is a little ways behind Last Jedi. I think Force Awakens is still my favorite out of the bunch.
For me,
There's like the ending moments of it, like wrapping up a story. I don't know, just it. I think it pulls at you a little bit more
And that's
than like.
I'm kind of talking about it on a movie level too.
Yeah.
As a movie, if we want to get really critical, it's a little sloppy.
Yeah,
It's just,
for sure.
It's sloppy.
Well, we
it's
can
got flaws.
also with this. I walked out behind a critic who turned to his friend and said, "Well, they're not real movies."
yeah,
Not cinema, baby.
Yeah.
Scorsese was smart.
I
Scorsese.
was like,
behind
Yeah.
she was like, "Hey, they're not real movies."
As a film, it's probably flawed. It's sloppy. It's this. It's that. The next thing. As a Star Wars movie, it's a lot of fun.
Exactly.
I think that's the most
Yeah,
important thing.
totally.
It's a very fun watch.
Yeah, there's definitely 2 ways I think you have to go into it looking at it critically. Like as a Star Wars movie, I agree. I think also for me personally, I've always looked at the one of the core strengths of Star Wars is character building and character arcs. I don't think we got that out of this trilogy in the way that I particularly wanted it. I think the entertainment value as far as Star Wars goes, planning is a
planning was
huge problem. And the way they executed that is horrible in this trilogy.
Weird move.
But that's obviously a different, much
Whole
larger
different
discussion. But I think critically, I had a really big problem with the first act. It was super, super fucking jumpy and
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
sensory overload for a first act to try and give you. And then after that, it was just like the Game Master Anthony birthday. Let me throw how many references as I can right in your face until you're like, yeah, we're in Star Wars.
Right.
Like that to me, I don't vibe with critically.
I don't know if people who aren't big Star Wars fans are going to like this. I have no idea.
I have no idea what the response
think-
to anything
it's
Star
like
Wars is going to be
I
anymore.
know.
Because
Well,
The Last
that's what
Jedi, I
Rhea
thought
said to
people would
me.
love.
It's supposed
When I
to
came back and asked, was like, "Did you like it?" I was like, "Yeah, I liked it." She's like, "Did you But then she was like, "Was it good?" And
Yeah,
I was like,
it's tough
"Yeah,
answer.
like it was good." But then she's like, "But was it good?"
After
like,
the Last Jedi arguments though, and with Mandalorian recently, it's a reminder of my office at home is wall to wall filled with Star Wars. So I'm obsessed with this franchise. It's to a point where you remind yourself
This movie could get
We're
panned.
taking this, but we're taking it too serious after
We're
Last Jedi,
taking it
too.
way too
many
seriously.
arguments.
Yeah.
And it may get destroyed
Yeah.
too. But it's just fucking have fun with it. And I had a blast. I can't wait to have fun with it.
And also
again.
I got so many people today already after I put out, I loved it, this, that, the next
Right.
thing. They said, well, I can never trust you again on that. I definitely won't like it if you. Even Hank was like, if you liked it, that's confirmation that I won't like it. And I was like, dude, you realize we are Star Wars fans because we like the same movies.
Yeah.
We just slightly disagreed about one movie. I think everyone politicized The Last Jedi too much in picking a side. Either this or that. I'm either this and we can never agree ever again. You could not like a ton of stuff about The Last Jedi. I could love a ton of stuff about The Last Jedi, and we may both love this movie.
I have no idea really what people are going to say.
Yeah.
Which is funny
I don't
because
know
people are
anymore.
listening to this as they walk out. I have no idea. No idea what people are going to say about it.
Critically, I think we're somewhere in the middle right now.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
mixed
Yeah,
reviews,
yeah.
so we really have no idea.
So we'll see. That was fun though.
That was a lot of fun.
Thank Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Woo.
What a blast. For Fran, Robbie, KenJac, I'm Jeff Lowe. Thanks for watching.